Winds whip across stark, snow-covered mountain peaks, setting a chilling scene. A voice scoffs from the icy prison. Fool. Did you truly believe you could escape our encirclement? Cornered and visibly pained, he's pressed. Where is the ancient relic hidden? Despite his grievous arm injury, a defiant smirk plays on his lips. Idiot, would you tell me? You arrogant bastard. One captor seethes, while his pragmatic partner decides, forget it. Contact the main squad. A glowing crystal activates for communication. Northern Phantom secured. Confirming coordinates for rendezvous. His captors loom above, puzzled why this persistent phantom seeks the same relic the Emperor desires. The Phantom's eyes blaze with unyielding spirit as his tormentors plot to have some fun. Before backup arrives, a tower over their captive, malice glinting. Brace yourself, Northern Phantom. Let's decide who starts first. All right then, one declares, flipping a coin that flares with an ominous light. Heads. I'm first. Blood erupts as the Phantom endures a brutal blow, yet his spirit remains unbroken. Eyes blazing with purple energy, he vows, I will not let this end with me powerless. A flashback reveals his identity. Zeke Draker, the Draker household's first failed awakener. Born into a famed Dragonslayer family, he couldn't use aura, failing the knight's path. Cast out and deemed trash, his harsh past fueled an unyielding quest for strength to survive. He recalls a saying, his hand now gripping a sword pulsing with formidable power. If strength is all you seek, you'll have nothing. The memory echoes, but he clenches his fist. Between his determined hands, a single, significant gold coin gleams. Pressing the dragon-crested coin to his chest, he scoffs, such bullshit. Sweet, it's heads, exclaims the captor, his eyes glowing, eager to begin the torment. That sentiment, Zeke thinks as his captors stand ready, is only said. His eyes blaze with purple energy. By those who are strong. He glares at the approaching swordsmen, those who are weak. The captor's blade descends, met by an unseen force. Will be trampled, Zeke declares, as his opponent is violently thrown back. That is the truth of this world. A grim determination settles on Zeke's scarred face. He scoffs, his severed arm glowing as it reconnects. TSK. The remaining captor stares in disbelief. Did he just attach his arm back? While Zeke acknowledges, guess I won't be able to escape. Reinforcements arrive. One sneering, an irregular. How gross, another adding. He'll die if we cut his head off. Zeke charges headfirst into the newly arrived squad, their eyes glowing with menace. Surrounded, Zeke unleashes a maelstrom of purple energy against the squad. Overwhelmed, he kneels impaled by swords amidst fallen foes, cursing his fate. Blood streams from his mouth as he endures the grievous, piercing wounds. His trembling, blood-soaked hand signals his grim realization death feels near. Regret fills him, lamenting his unfulfilled revenge as life seemingly fades. Yet, he clutches the stolen relic, a small victory against the Emperor. A whispered apology escapes his lips, a single red teardrop or petal falling. As he utters Alicia, the relic in his grasp erupts with golden light. This brilliant radiance intensifies, promising an ancient power awakened by his will. An elder dragon's soul manifest, drawn to his unyielding spirit even in defeat. A mysterious voice announces an urgent measure, asking, Zeke Draker, do you agree? Dying, Zeke dismisses the voice as nonsense, even as ethereal hands reach for him. Resigned, Zeke tells the voice to do as it pleases, and the Awakener's agreement is confirmed. An irreversible power activates within him as a final countdown begins. Numbers flash. 5, 4, 3, 2 signaling an imminent change. Zeke awakens, shocked to find himself in a much younger body. He stares at his small hand, questioning if he's truly returned to the past. Seeing his battered older self's reflection, the phantom pain of his wounds lingers. Lying in a strangely familiar room, he recognizes his surroundings. He realizes he's back at the cradle, the Draker household's training institution. He recalls the infamous name, the Dragonslayer family, Draker. His lineage, one of the 3 great transcendent households, known for their might. Terracon Draker, the legendary hero, vanquished the evil dragon Bahamut a millennium ago. Descendants of this Dragonslayer were blessed, all wielding the power of aura. They effortlessly awakened high-level auras, destined to become knights. All except for me, young Zeke thinks as a system message announces its restart. Startled, he jolts upright, questioning the sudden notification. Glancing around his childhood room, he wonders if he imagined the voice. System windows confirm, his Awakener's soul is present and 100% aligned. The system declares the Elder Dragon's will has merged with him, grounding partial authority. A system message formally greets Zeke, announcing the activation of his status window. Multiple glowing interfaces appear, making Zeke wonder if an artifact has been triggered. His status window reveals his new class, Healer Rare, blessed by an ancient dragon. Young Zeke realizes he can interact with these system screens like magic videos. He discovers he can navigate the glowing blue interface with simple hand gestures. Pondering the information, Zeke focuses intently on the details presented. The terms class and skills catch his eye, alongside unfamiliar draconic language. He recalls his master explaining ancient classes and specialized skills like healing. A chilling memory surfaces of his master's brutal training after he first awakened. Despite the harsh memories, Zeke confirms his new reality. He is now a healer. Young Zeke resolves, let's test it out to see if what the status window says is true. He recalls becoming a healer in his 20s, right after the Ether Hall was unlocked. This means, young Zeke is enveloped in a surge of purple energy. He closes his eyes, focusing inward as the power courses through him. His eyes snap open, blazing with an intense, familiar purple light. I knew it, Zeke smirks, realizing, my Ether Hall is already unlocked. With this, I now understand, he thinks as purple flames of energy surround him. Though his trained adult body is gone, a phantom of its power remains. He's returned to the past with all his skills and memories, a far more advantageous position. And in order for me to make use of this, he muses, I need to find out what I have at my disposal first. A sudden knock at the door interrupts Zeke, a voice asking, Master Zeke, may I come in? Panicked, Zeke fumbles with the glowing system window, muttering, I still haven't read it all. How do I turn this off? Before he can react, the voice declares, I'm coming in, as the door creaks open, and Zeke yelps. Wait. A stern, impeccably dressed man with a monocle enters, identified as Zeke's exclusive servant. Decker, questioning, what on earth are you thinking? Zeke quickly hides the glowing interface, feigning ignorance. Prepared for what? Relieved Decker can't see the windows. Decker's imposing silhouette looms over him, his voice stern. Are you seriously asking me that? Master Zeke? A flashback reveals young Zeke's deep-seated fear of Decker, a terror his adult mind can't entirely suppress in this child's body. Just then, a system message flashes, activating class skill Composed Mind. As a calming blue light envelops Zeke's head, instantly his nervousness disappears. The system explaining Composed Mind ensures his mental state remains unshaken. Now calm, Zeke muses, this is a skill too. How convenient it activates automatically. As Decker begins to lecture him about an important event, Decker sighs, questioning if Master Zeke is even listening, to which Zeke calmly replies, Of course I am, Decker. A grim flashback shows blood splattering violently across a stark, tiled floor. Zeke, his eyes sharp, confirms, You're talking about the evaluation test, pancreation, aren't you? A painful memory surfaces, a younger, tearful Zeke, bruised and defeated after a brutal ordeal. The imposing cradle is shown, where all Drakers begin 5 years of strict basic training at age 7. Instructors evaluate students annually through swordsmanship and the no-rules combat of pancreation. While instructors usually pick opponents, mutual consent allows students to choose. Though fights can be deadly, this crucial competition determines each student's class placement within the academy, their future hanging in the balance. A harrowing scene depicts children desperately fighting, forced to give their all in a brutal struggle for survival. Decker stands before an empty arena announcing, as you all know, today is the day of pancreation. An instructor in the arena confirms, this is the last part of the evaluation, right? Rows of uniformed students, seen from behind, shout in unison, yes, sir. Head instructor Panmark observes their spirit, declaring, then we'll get started right away. Prepare yourselves. The young trainees, faces set with determination, echo their readiness, yes, sir. Zeke stands stoically amidst whispers about his past failures, coolly thinking, I can hear you all. Instructor Penmark summons to students, Aaron, Goda, come here, as they respond from off-screen. Aaron and Goda step into the arena, the instructor commanding them to get ready. With a swift hand chop, the instructor bellows, begin, igniting the first match. The two young combatants immediately lunge at each other, a blur of fist and feet. One boy smirks defiantly even as a powerful punch lands squarely on his face. A devastating blow connects with brutal force, the impact starkly visible. The instructor announces the fight's swift end, lecturing on the importance of proper defense. Goda is unable to fight. Aaron wins, is declared, marking the match's conclusion. Zeke observes, sighing, I think I used to be deathly afraid, but these guys are nothing. He lets out a casual yawn, watching the ongoing matches with an air of disinterest. A sinister smirk plays on Zeke's lips, his eyes glowing red as he clenches his bandaged fist. Instructor Panmark summons, Zeke, Leon, are you both ready? As the two boys prepare. Zeke inwardly groans, my opponent just had to be Leon, who smirks, look at you, back here again. A grim flashback shows Leon towering over a defeated Zeke, ordering him to beg for your life. You parasite. The memory continues. A younger, battered Zeke apologizes. As he realizes Leon has been his opponent every year. Leon stands confidently, convinced Zeke's family pulled strings for him to be there. Leon internally seethes. Why did that piece of shit have to be my cousin? Zeke recalls that in his past life, the for direct bloodline siblings never met. However, he remembers over a dozen cousins who relentlessly bullied him. Leon addresses Zeke. I have to give it to you, Zeke Draker, as Zeke looks on questioningly. It's brave of you to come back after last time's beating, Leon taunts, stepping closer. Or perhaps, Leon smirks, tapping his head. You didn't learn because you're so inferior. The composed mind skill activates again, and Zeke calmly thinks. It's been a while since I heard his stupid insults. Zeke looks up sharply, warning Leon, hey, I won't be nice if you call me that again. Leon grabs Zeke's hair, sneering. What are you going to do, you inferior piece of shit? Suddenly, Zeke's fist connects with Leon's face as a critical strike skill activates. Leon reels back, screaming, Kua, and my face as blood erupts. Zeke eyes his glowing fist, surprised. I only meant to knock him out, but the skill activated. An enraged voice booms from off-panel. What are you doing, Zeke Draker? The instructor storms at Zeke, who coolly retorts, who says, ready, get set, go. On the battlefield, Zeke smirks, eyes gleaming with purple light. The one to hit first has the advantage. Instructor Panmark stares, beads of sweat forming, clearly shaken by Zeke's audacity. Was that bloodlust I felt? The instructor wonders as Leon groans, I'm fine, sir. Head instructor Panmark watches, a bead of sweat trickling down his stunned face. As Leon struggles to rise, bloodied, the instructor hesitantly declares, please begin the fight. Zeke retorts, you're the stupid one, as Leon, eyes blazing red, screams for Zeke's death. The instructor's hand slices down, officially shouting, get ready, begin. Leon immediately charges, a furious blur, while Zeke stands his ground. Leon's eyes widen in disbelief. What? As his first attack misses. Zeke easily blocks Leon's flurry, thinking his fists don't hurt at all. Leon, though momentarily surprised, regains focus. If I guard, he's no threat. But I must watch out. Leon's thought continues, pinpointing the danger, his left hand counter. Zeke throws a punch, but Leon smirks, easily ducking. It's too obvious. Leon retaliates, driving a powerful knee into Zeke's midsection. Die, you inferior piece of shit. Leon roars, pressing his brutal attack. Zeke grits his teeth, enduring Leon's furious assault. Suddenly, Zeke is on the ground, Leon looking bewildered. What? What just happened? Instructor Panmark observes, thinking, TCH, I guess that wasn't enough. The instructor is visibly shocked, questioning if this is truly a 12-year-old's combat sense. Panmark recalls Leon dodging Zeke's counter, initially believing Leon would win. A single word hangs in the air, however. The instructor realizes Zeke, despite his failed counter, precisely struck Leon's chin to escape. Zeke stands composed, making Panmark wonder, is this really the Zeke Draker that I knew? Leon, battered and frustrated, seethes, damn it, I can't do anything like this. As Leon tries to create distance, Zeke lands a powerful kick to his side. Leon reels, shocked, exclaiming, shit, how is he this strong when he's so small? Stumbling backward, Leon curses, you inferior little. Zeke, eyes glowing purple, grabs Leon's hair, thinking, all right, I controlled my strength this time, as Leon screams, how dare you? A system notification announces, activating class skill heightened senses, temporarily boosting his awareness. Zeke smirks, a familiar blue glow on his fist. This feeling is familiar. Purple ether now swirls violently around Zeke's fist as he muses. Now that I've gotten used to controlling ether. With a surge of power, Zeke declares, I'll put an end to this fight. As he unleashes a devastating strike, a colossal blast of purple energy engulfs them as Zeke's attack lands with incredible force. Leon is sent flying high into the air, a distant figure, as an onlooker gasps, what? Another skill activates, precise stab, as Zeke, airborne, delivers a decisive finishing blow. A skill card details precise stab, targeting weak points for critical damage. As Zeke's hand glows, Zeke, eyes blazing purple, looms over a downed Leon who begs him to stop, even an idiot like you. His fist crashes into Leon's face once more, Zeke continuing, should be able. Leon's eyes widen in pure terror as Zeke finishes his thought, to learn their lesson. The horrified onlookers stare in disbelief as Zeke asks, with this, right? Standing over the battered Leon, Zeke delivers a final, chilling warning, fuck around and find out. Zeke casually brushes his hair back, blood on his cheek. My head feels clear now that I've sweated a bit. He glances at the stunned crowd, recognizing familiar faces among them. Zeke then glares, challenging them directly. Stop looking around and come down here if you have something to say. Pushing his hair back again, he reflects, I can finally think after breaking a sweat. Zeke scans the crowd, recognizing faces among the onlookers he's just addressed. With bloody knuckles and a defiant gaze, Zeke dares anyone to confront him. A new challenger, Jaqen Vardek, steps out from the crowd, calling Zeke's name. Jaqen stands before Zeke, formally choosing him as his pancration opponent. I've got something to say, Jaqen declares, revealing himself as another of Zeke's cousins. Zeke looks down, unimpressed, stating, that's fine, but you alone are boring. He then points to the crowd, ordering, Liam Stone, you go join him, as Jaqen seethes. Zeke smirks confidently, I think that makes this a fair fight. Jaqen glares, did you just insult me? To which Zeke gleefully replies, of course, dumbass. Eyes blazing with fury, Jaqen snarls, I'll beat you to death, Zeke Draker. The instructor cautions Zeke, don't do anything before I give the go, as Zeke casually agrees. Ready for the 2-on-1. Zeke smirks, finding it interesting to encounter Liam Stone here once more. He recalls Liam, the mercenary king, who served Jaqen even in Zeke's past life at the academy. A flashback shows a younger Liam, a distant relative whose education was neglected. Liam once tearfully begged for higher education at Valhalla, but ended up in a minor knight order. After his nation fell, Liam became a mercenary, as chaotic times draw people to strength. His long mercenary tenure led him to become a Red Knight, founding the Stone Mercenaries and eventually uniting 3 groups to be hailed as the Mercenary King. When the Empire hired his mercenaries, Liam was thrust into the Continental Wars. Zeke remembers clashing with Liam, fighting alongside the Northerners against him as a formidable foe. A determined glint in Zeke's eye, he thinks, though, it can be different this time. The instructor's voice booms, begin, signaling the start of the 2-on-1 fight. Jaqen immediately lunges at Zeke, his fist crackling with power. Zeke, a red glint in his eye, seems momentarily surprised, thinking, I did say. He finishes his thought with a smirk, purple ether flaring, to come at me together. Jaqen scoffs, facing Zeke. Do you think I'll play along? He unleashes a furious kick, shouting, with your cheap tricks. Jaqen's eye widens in shock and pain, UGH, as red energy crackles. He stumbles backward, clearly caught off guard by Zeke's counter. Zeke stands calmly, purple energy swirling around his hand. You should have looked properly before kicking. Jaqen glares, clutching his leg where a faint red glow indicates Zeke's precise strike. Zeke, fist glowing, tells a floored Jaqen, you're looking away. His purple ether flares intensely as Zeke focuses his power. Jaqen throws up a desperate X-shaped block with his bandaged hands. Zeke taunts, a red glint in his eye, aren't you a little scared? He lands another kick, scolding, you couldn't even predict that feint. This is why I told you to come together. Purple energy slashes whip around Jaqen as Zeke presses his relentless assault. Zeke smirks, an image of a bloody Jaqen above him, declaring, you alone aren't enough. Jaqen, battered and desperate, screams out, Liam. Sent flying, Jaqen furiously yells for Liam to kill this asshole. Liam clenches his fist, observing Zeke with disbelief. This guy, he's also 12 like US. RIGHT. Liam, red energy flaring, notes Zeke's most annoying trait, his insane reach. He's sent sprawling, his bandaged hand flung upwards as he falls. Liam, eyes now glowing purple, decides he can't let Zeke attack first. He lunges, purple ether blazing from his fist, determined to seize the initiative. A system window announces, skill slash activated. Liam unleashes a flurry of purple earring slashes, designed to overwhelm and obscure sight. Onlookers gasp, one muttering insane, while another stammers, WH, what is that? Zeke smirks at their confusion. Yeah, you must be curious, since you've never seen anything like this before. Liam, recognizing the Northern fist fighting style, wonders how Zeke could possibly know it. A flashback shows a younger Liam, red energy points on his body, lamenting his weak constitution. Getting winded just from this. Liam, eyes glowing red, acknowledges Zeke's monstrous physique is the real problem. Zeke observes Liam only dodging, recalling his greater aggression as the Mercenary King. Liam's fist trembles, red energy faint, as he admits his body is nearing its limit. Zeke, purple ether blazing, declares he'll break through Liam's guard now that he understands his strength. Liam's eyes narrow with fierce determination, bracing for Zeke's incoming assault. Zeke unleashes a devastating punch, purple energy exploding against Liam's defense. Shockingly, Liam ducks under the blow, Zeke's attack missing and creating a powerful shockwave. Zeke scoffs, noting Liam can't even perceive ether, yet he dodged. Liam, with a slight smile, internally remarks on everyone's insane sense in this fight. Their bandaged fists collide with a powerful, focused impact. Liam roars in agony as Zeke's attack connects with brutal force. A precise strike to Liam's chin sends a jolt of red energy through him. Zeke presses his advantage, leaping to deliver another blow to the falling Liam. As Liam hits the ground, a system window announces, "Class skill heightened senses activated." Suddenly, Liam turns the tables, using his new skill to trap Zeke in a powerful headlock. Liam grunts, thinking he can win by cutting off Zeke's oxygen. Zeke's eyes widen in momentary shock, caught in Liam's desperate hold. Unyielding, Zeke repeatedly smashes his elbow into Liam's side, forcing Liam to exclaim, "This crazy bastard." Liam, eyes blazing red, grits his teeth. "Yeah, let's see who comes out on top." His face contorts with fierce resolve, enduring Zeke's painful counterattack. Zeke relentlessly smashes his elbow into Liam's ribs, impact stars flaring. Liam's body convulses with each brutal blow, red energy flickering around the impact zones. His eyes burn a fierce red, teeth gritted as he endures the excruciating pain. Jackin and other students watch, their faces etched with shock and concern at the brutal exchange. The instructor observes with wide, startled eyes, witnessing their raw determination. Liam's bandaged hand slams onto the dusty ground, trying to maintain his hold. Steam rises from both fighters as Liam, the battered, refuses to release Zeke from the headlock. Zeke, a faint smirk playing on his lips, thinks, "Yeah, I expected at least this much from you." Liam, eyes blazing with defiance, declares, "It'll be worth taking you down, Zeke Draker." Sometime later, a voice inquires, "I heard you were greatly injured in pancreation. Are you all right, young master?" To which a calm reply comes, "Yeah, I'm fine." The attendant politely asks if it's not impertinent of me. "Could I check your pulse?" Liam realizes the man wants to see if he's awakened his aura, sighing, "Wait a bit." He extends his hand and the attendant gently takes his wrist, saying, "Thank you, young master." Suddenly, a surge of blue energy flows from the attendant's hand into Liam, who flinches. As the attendant's hands glow with vibrant blue power, Liam wonders, is he a blue knight? Liam notes the thoroughness, as usually only the Danshin is checked, while blue energy scans his entire body. He deduces if he is able to control it so precisely like this, he has got to be a blue knight. A new panel explains that not all knights are the same, classified by martial prowess and aura manipulation. The white swordsman, the novice level, is shown, typical for children before the blessing rite. Next is the yellow swordsman, the level achieved upon awakening aura and opening the Danshin. The panel explains all cradle trainees become yellow swordsmen after the blessing rite. Once aura control is mastered, one earns the title of knight, with purple knight able to reinforce their sword. Blue knights, a higher tier, can manifest an aura blade as shown by the figures. The text simply reads, "and teasing a further level." This next realm belongs to those who've transcended their limits. The realm mercenary king Liam reached. Liam recalls achieving this powerful state, wreathed in purple energy, before his regression. This ultimate level, symbolized by a glowing red gem, is revealed as Red Knight. Liam wonders how commander-level Blue Knight ended up as his babysitter. Also noting the existence of even rarer Black Knights, Liam confidently thinks, "No matter. There's no way he can detect my ether." The attendant, his blue aura still active, possesses an ability only two people in the entire world can use. The attendant, his blue aura still potent, asks Liam, "Young master, are you perhaps?" He continues, "Hiding something from me." Liam retorts, "Why? Are you hiding something from me then?" A tense silence hangs between Liam and the attendant, Decker, in the sunlit room. Liam playfully pats Decker's arm, dismissing the tension. "I'm just joking." Decker halts Liam, questioning, "Why have you changed so suddenly, young master?" Liam cryptically replies, "Your question is wrong, Decker." With eyes now glowing in intense purple, Liam declares, "You should be asking why I have only changed now asterisk." Liam asserts, "Many more things will change. Things are just going to their rightful places. So all you need to do is follow me." Decker bows respectfully, hand over his heart. "Yes, young master. I understand." As a door creaks open, Decker informs him, "I have already prepared the training room you have asked for." Liam praises his efficiency. Decker stands formally by the closed door, bidding farewell. "See you, young master." Liam dismisses Decker, thinking, "If he's watching me, I'll keep him close for intel." He walks down a grand corridor, suspecting one of his siblings ordered Decker to spy on him. Entering a vast personal training room, Liam marvels, this household really lives up to its name. Liam summons his system window, revealing his status as Zeke Draker, a rare healer with the dragon's blessing. He stares intently at the glowing blue interface materializing before him. Liam notes his slash skill has become proficient, questioning if usage improves skills. He ponders if skills activate naturally based on actions, wondering if he possessed them before. Liam considers the distinction between skill and class skill, observing their similar activation. His attention fixes on the locked Draconian skill, needing 10 karma points to view. Liam's finger hovers near the Draconian skill, intrigued by the unlock requirement. A system window reveals karma points are earned by killing monsters, but Liam currently has 0. Liam realizes he needs to be a purple knight to even enter dungeons where monsters dwell. He ponders his regression and the system, suspecting a link to an ancient relic he once encountered. With scarce information, Liam thoughtfully considers the mysterious connection between his past and present. Decisively, he grips his sword, resolving to use any tool, including the system, to regain his strength. Liam stands ready, determined to utilize whatever power is at his disposal. His gaze intensifies, split by the blade, declaring he'll use the system or his Draker lineage. A new panel explains the world's to known powers, the aura of knights and the mana of mages. Knights are shown to reinforce their powerful aura within the challenging depths of dungeons. In contrast, mages are depicted manipulating their mana through intricate, mystical circles. The text explains aura and mana are mutually exclusive, awakening one prevents awakening the other. Liam recalls his past misfortune. Unable to awaken Danshan or Circle, he was abandoned. Then met his master. His master taught him many things, most crucially healing and the Ether Hall. Through the master's Ether Hall, Liam learned to handle the natural energy called ether. Liam, wreathed in purple ether, reveals he and his master are the world's only ether users. After just 2 hours of training, Liam collapses onto his sword, utterly exhausted. System notifications pop up, activating class skill healing and activating class skill vigor recovery. Liam's bloodied hand grips his sword tightly as purple energy emanates from it. He reflects that healing is an extremely rare skill he only knew of after meeting his master. Liam sweats, realizing using such a rare skill openly would brand him an irregular. Liam recalls being unable to use his healing during the fight with his past self. He remembers hastily healing his injuries in secret, purple energy glowing from his hands. Now fully recovered, Liam resolutely grips his sword, ready to push himself further. After another intense session, an exhausted Liam realizes with a sigh that it's already dinner time. Lying spent on the scarred training floor, he wonders how to explain his condition to Decker. A week later, in the Cradle cafeteria, whispers spread about how Zeke is a completely different person now. Other trainees mockingly call him a loser, sarcastically wondering if he's turned to black magic. Some, however, express hope that this changed Zeke will finally challenge the stronger students. The scene shifts to an opulent dining table, groaning under the weight of a magnificent feast. A perfectly cooked steak is expertly sliced, steam rising from the juicy cut. A fork lifts a succulent, dripping piece of perfectly cooked steak. Ray in its run ferociously bites into her meal, eyes wide with intensity. Around the lavish dining table, an unseen speaker urges someone to eat up. Owen Zimmons calmly cuts his steak, reminding someone they need energy for a duel. Owen glares, asking if he's being provoked, while Liam coolly mentions an inferiority complex. WHAT. Owen explodes, slamming his fist onto the dining table in fury. Owen's fist smashes his steak, splattering juices across the pristine plate. Raina pauses her meal, knife and fork in hand, watching the confrontation with a sharp gaze. Liam's eyes narrow slightly, a silent, hanging in the air as he observes Owen's outburst. Unfazed, Liam gestures casually. So what are you gonna do now? Challenging Owen. Owen roars Zeke's name, his fury echoed by the glares of other young Drakers. Someone wipes the table, musing Zeke's pancreation was impressive, but his swordsmanship will be pathetic. A sinister smirk appears as they mock Zeke's supposed inability to even hold the sword properly. Another chimes in. He's so weak he needed a custom sword. While Owen scoffs at the inferior piece of shit, Raina slams her fork down, declaring Zeke only beat her in pancreation due to sheer luck. Liam turns, his gaze sharp as he pointedly questions Raina luck. Raina glares back, the air crackling with tension as the dining room watches. Liam rises, addressing the scornful group. If you really believe that. Sword in hand, Liam finishes, then you have no right to be knights of the Draker household. The scene shifts to a gleaming blade, introducing the dangerous concept of a sword duel. Text reveals the upcoming blessing rite, where Drakers awaken their aura after final exams. An official-looking man calls out, Zeke, come on up, beckoning him to the dueling ground. Liam confidently strides forward, his large sword resting casually on his shoulder. As Liam enters the arena, the crowd murmurs, questioning his oversized weapon. Unfazed by the whispers, Liam's name, Zeke Draker, is announced. Ray in its run steps onto the field, her expression fierce and ready for battle. The dueling grounds are set, with Liam and Raina facing each other before an adjudicator. Rhina's eyes blaze with power as she points at Liam. I choose you as my opponent. Liam grips his sword, a confident smirk playing on his lips. Sounds good. With a bold grin, Liam eagerly accepts Rhina's challenge, ready for the confrontation. Raina observes Liam, shocked he's lifting a heavy claymore with such ease. Facing him directly, Raina senses a distinct change in Liam's presence. Liam, eyes glowing with purple ether, is no longer the weakling she remembered. Raina grits her teeth, refusing to be intimidated before the duel even starts. She recalls accepting the duel confidently, ready to prove her strength. Though Liam appears calm, he admits internally that facing the Lightning Knight is nerve-wracking. Raina Turun, the famed Lightning Knight, awakened her aura even before the blessing rite. Liam deduces Raina likely awakened her aura years ago, yet she's kept it hidden. He notes she hasn't used her aura in the cradle, claiming to focus on fundamentals. As Liam ponders fundamentals, a hand signals sharply downwards, and the duel begins. Raina lunges, her sword meeting Liam's in a shower of sparks. She presses her assault, a shockwave erupting as Liam parries her forceful blow. Raina's eyes blaze with fierce determination as she swings with all her might. Her sword smashes into the ground where Liam just stood, kicking up dust and debris. Liam slides back, purple energy flaring from his feet as he absorbs the impact. He regains his stance, sword held steady, a powerful aura swirling around him. Liam's purple eye glows as he internally admits, she's better than I expected. Raina, undeterred, glares fiercely, her thoughts trailing off with a determined butt. The crowd roars, kill him in one strike, Raina, as their blades clash in a brilliant flash. Owen scoffs from the sidelines, disdainfully thinking, what an idiot. Onlookers wonder if Raina is merely toying with Liam as their blades clash. Raina, however, internally notes that while narrow, openings do appear. She can sense gaps in Liam's defense, seeing opportunities to strike. Yet, no matter how quickly she tries to exploit these openings, Liam's sword always meets hers, almost as if commending her efforts. And immediately after he parries, another apparent gap presents itself. Raina realizes with dawning horror, this feels less like a fight and more like a training duel. She perceives Liam's movements as if he's intentionally teaching her. Their swords connect again with a resounding clang, sparks flying. Raina is visibly pushed back, the ground scarred by their fierce exchange. Raina pants heavily, sweat dripping, as the realization of Liam's control sinks in. Liam observes her, thinking, so this is how the Lightning Knight fought in the cradle. He notes her honest swordplay, a result of her focus on fundamentals, is now her weakness. Liam decides to help her break free, dropping into an extremely low stance, purple energy flaring. Raina watches, surprised as Liam adopts this unconventional, ground-hugging posture. She realizes he intends to close the distance instantly, but trusts her own formidable speed. Come, Zeke Drak, Raina starts as Liam explodes forward, a blur of purple. Raina's eyes widen in shock. He's fast, as Liam is already upon her. She grits her teeth, believing she can still react as long as there's some distance. But Liam's sword slams down with immense force, shattering the ground before her. Liam's devastating downward slash aims to overwhelm Raina completely. Raina's eyes widen in disbelief at the sheer power and speed of his attack. Debris flies past her face as the force of the blow impacts the arena. A smudge of dirt on her cheek, Raina grits her teeth, still defiant. Liam's sword cleaves the air, forcing Raina into a desperate, falling evasion. Staring up at the descending blade, Raina's expression turns to one of utter shock. A chilling thought flashes through Raina's mind. I'm finished. Liam's massive sword smashes into the dueling ground, sending shockwaves outwards. He stands victorious, his sword deeply embedded, while Raina lies defeated nearby. The crowd erupts. Zeke lost, mistakenly. Then, as expected of Raina, she didn't use her aura. Owen, with a stern expression, reveals, no, the cadets didn't notice. He continues, explaining that as Liam's attack closed in on Raina, she instinctively channeled the faintest, barely perceptible aura into her sword. Owen recalls Raina's vow to never use aura until entering the academy. Liam, slightly battered, realizes he forced her hand as Raina demands, what are you doing? Before she can react, Liam, declaring this isn't over, lands a swift punch. Raina recoils in shock, blood trickling from her lips from the unexpected blow. More blood splatters onto the dusty arena floor. Defeated, Raina kneels, coughing blood as Liam stands impassively above her. The crowd erupts in outrage, yelling, this is a sword duel. We won't stand for such cheap attacks. The crowd angrily declares Raina the victor, shaming Liam for abandoning his sword. Liam stands dismissively over the kneeling Raina, thinking he won, as cries of shame on you echo. Liam coldly asks a struggling Raina, who uses her sword for support, want to continue. Raina, face hidden in shadow, internally insists, I didn't lose yet. He only struck me because I let my guard down. The words my guard echo in her mind, a stark realization dawning. She considers, bloodied and bruised, if he wasn't barehanded and had a dagger, Raina's eyes narrow in pain contemplation, processing the brutal truth of her vulnerability. Looking up at Liam, Raina finally concedes with quiet dignity, it is my loss. Owen and the other cadets stare in stunned silence at Raina's unexpected admission. An announcer's hand rests on a sword as he begins. Zeke Draker, who is called human scum. The winner is. Achieved victory against one of the most talented children among the famed houses. Zeke Draker. The announcer specifies he defeated the renowned Raina Turan. Suddenly, a dark castle erupts in flames under a fiery sky. Inside, the aftermath of a brutal battle shows fallen soldiers amidst trouble. Two figures drag a body towards a dark chasm, another already fallen within. Through a window, a red-haired man and a dark-haired man observe the fiery chaos. The dark-haired man, William, incredulously asks Abel, how are you drinking tea in this situation? William holds a letter, reporting, Zeke, they're saying this bastard defeated Raina. Abel calmly sets down his teacup, remarking, William, you're always so serious. Leaning over the table, Abel inquires, how long do we have left until the blessing rite? To which William replies, time until the next full moon. Abel decides, amidst the chaos, looks like this is the right moment to pay the family a visit. Shocking William. His hand tightens on his sword hilt, Abel musing, it has just piqued my curiosity. Through the fiery window, Abel reveals his interest in what kind of awakening our youngest is going to go through. Despite his shocking victory, Zeke simply returned to his rigorous training for the next month. Zeke, drenched in sweat, exhales deeply. Purple energy still faintly swirling around him after practice. His status window reveals Zeke is a healer rare with several combat skills and a locked draconian skill. Zeke notes his slash skill evolved into continuous slash and his swift steps mastery increased. Interrupted, Zeke looks towards the door, questioning an unseen visitor named Decker. Decker informs Zeke from outside the training room, we're leaving in 2 hours. For the blessing rite, a grand carriage, followed by others, makes its way towards a distant, imposing estate. Inside the carriage, Zeke reflects, it's been a while since I've been at the main estate. A map reveals the Draker estate is in the Duchy of Troy, where the Dragonslayer legend began. A polished shoe steps firmly onto the ground as they arrive. The imposing main estate of the Draker family, the dragon's nest lair, looms before them. Attention echoes through a grand hall filled with assembled figures. Surrounded by other youths, Zeke observes the crowd, a new realization dawning. He notes the onlookers are all influential figures, likely including spies from his own family. Zeke's eyes narrow, pondering their motives and the consequences of a failed awakening. He grimly anticipates being completely disregarded if he doesn't awaken properly. Suddenly, Zeke's eyes flare red with fury, spotting an unwelcome presence. Why is that bastard here? A gloved hand clasps another, as one man asks, what brings you here? Has anyone in this class caught your eye perhaps? The red-haired man, Abel, smirks, replying, not at all, but I have other reasons. Abel's hand tightens on his sword hilt as he continues, it just so happens that. Revealed as Abel Draker, the Lion Blade, he declares, my adorable youngest brother is here. Zeke glares, recognizing him not as the Lion Blade, but the butchering knight, Abel. As their eyes meet, Zeke forces himself to remain composed, thinking, there's nothing I can do right now anyway. He recalls, in my past life, Abel never came, wondering if his actions have altered the future. Zeke's fist clenches with determination. If that's the case, this might be my chance. An armored official steps forward, announcing from above, all right then. The official declares, we will now begin the blessing rite as robed figures stand ready below. The official summons the first participant, Aaron, come on out, who nervously steps forward. Aaron, looking tense, approaches a basin radiating a faint blue light. He plunges his hand into the glowing liquid, his expression showing immediate discomfort. His submerged hand and a nearby statue both pulse with crackling blue energy. Blue lightning engulfs Aaron, his face a mask of strain as the ritual intensifies. A wisp of pure blue energy ascends from a focal point, swirling gracefully. This energy rapidly expands, creating a powerful, swirling vortex of blue light. Text reveals, through the blessing rite, every member of the Draker bloodline awakens their sealed aura at age 12, as Aaron's aura manifests and the official calls. Alright, next. As Aaron departs, still faintly glowing, the narration explains this early awakening is incredibly fast compared to ordinary nights. Text reveals that in rare cases, Drakers also awaken a Dragonslayer trait, mana inhibition. Suddenly, mana lamps on the wall begin to flicker erratically. sparking with red energy as onlookers gasp. The crowd exclaims, "Oh, oh, red lights." As it's explained, these awakeners can rival even red and black knights. An armored figure's sword hilt pulses with intense, crackling red energy, signifying a powerful awakening. The recently awakened youth stands amid swirling blue lightning, having undergone a pure blood awakening. An official demands, "Bring me the gloves." Explaining mana inhibition necessitates special gloves for a normal life. The awakened youth stares intently at his newly gloved hands, a look of contemplation on his face. The Draker family crest appears, signifying that pure blood awakeners gain the name, immense support, and benefits. As the official calls all right, next, the crowd murmurs, "Oh, finally. Looks like we have the main dish." A determined boot steps forward while someone in the crowd declares, "Of course, it will be a pure blood awakening since he beat Reina." Zeke approaches the glowing basin, smirking. "Never thought I'd stand before this damned statue again." He sweats, recalling with a grimace the last time was horrible. Surrounded by ghostly, judging eyes, he remembers the rite leading to his shameful title. A bold declaration appears, however. This time everything is different. Zeke reflects on his newfound ether manipulation and his refusal to surrender. Confident with his past struggles behind him, he knows he stood up for himself. That's why. He plunges his hand into the basin's blue light, challenging the damned bronze statue. Blue energy erupts, connecting his hand to the pulsing, armored statue nearby. Zeke smirks, a bead of sweat on his temple as the powerful blue aura envelops him. The bronze statue seems to react, its helmeted gaze fixed forward as energy crackles. The crowd gasps as the intense blue energy around Zeke abruptly vanishes. Abel watches from above, a grim realization dawning. This has never happened before. Zeke stares down, a shadow crossing his face as the expected power fails to manifest. His hand, dripping, emerges from the basin, confirming his fear. "I shouldn't have expected things to change." Zeke glares towards Abel, blaming his presence for his own misplaced confidence. Onlookers murmur in disbelief. He failed to awaken. Is that even possible? Whispers spread, questioning how, some even callously mentioning his cursed blood. As Zeke takes a towel, the crowd dismisses his victory over Reina as a trick, calling him an embarrassment. Yet, Zeke's eyes gleam with resolve. It doesn't matter. Awakenings aren't the only path to strength. Suddenly, two system messages appear before him, apologizing for a delayed notification due to an error. Zeke stares blankly at the basin, a question mark appearing as he processes the system messages. The system reveals missing information was detected and forcibly input by its authority. Notifications flash. Class input complete. Talent identified as healer. Class unlocked. And it's a rare class. Zeke reels in disbelief, exclaiming, "No way," as a smirk plays on his lips. Suddenly, the bronze statue behind him erupts with intense, crackling red lights. The crowd gasps in shock. It's red, a pure blood awakening. He's starting off as red. Zeke's eye reflects the crimson glow. System notifications still visible. The terminal connects, activating the ancient dragon's blessing sealed within Zeke's soul. Abel watches the unexpected red surge, his expression unreadable, but clearly intrigued. The final messages pop up. Fighter's blood talent awaken, and his talents have been combined. A system notification declares a new class created from combined rare talents. As Zeke stares in utter disbelief, the system dramatically announces his unique class, Immortal, has been awakened. Onlookers are baffled by a golden light, questioning if this is even a pure blood awakening. Despite the earlier red, Zeke, holding a box, wisely decides to stay silent, knowing their doubts could backfire on him. Nobles whisper skeptically, noting the mana lamps are fine and no mana inhibition occurred, doubting the awakening's legitimacy. A close-up reveals intricately designed black gloves, one bearing a golden dragon sigil, held by a powerful figure. A confident red-haired woman smirks, questioning the crowd's serious demeanor over to pure blood awakenings. From a balcony, she addresses the murmuring crowd. Isn't this something to celebrate? Her words sway the nobles, who now excitedly agree. To pure blood awakenings, what a blessing. The red-haired woman sharply orders an official, "Go get a glove for our newest member." As Zeke watches, Zeke, now gloved, remarks, "This is quite hefty," feeling the weight of his new status. As the official calls next, an attendant rushes off, and another figure approaches the basin. Abel, the red-haired noble, watches with a knowing smirk from the balcony. Zeke glances at Abel, recognizing his obvious intentions but hesitating to accept his help. With a grimace, Zeke internally fumes. This feels like shit, despite his newfound power. An official grandly announces the end of the rite and an imminent celebration party for all. Zeke scoffs at the idea of a party, already seeking a training room as nobles celebrate. A voice calls out Zeke, startling him as he tries to slip away. His eyes widen in surprise. He clearly didn't expect him to appear. Abel, lounging casually, questions Zeke. Where are you wandering off so early into the party? Zeke internally notes Abel's quick move to approach him. Abel's intense eyes fix on Zeke as he begins. Congratulations. He finishes with a smile on a pure-blood awakening, offering a gloved hand. Zeke forces a smile, thinking refusing the handshake would reveal his hostility. He decides to play along for now, their hands moving to clasp. A sudden, chilling vision, a lone figure amidst a field of defeated warriors. Just before their hands meet, Zeke abruptly freezes, a red flinch SFX appearing. Abel looks puzzled by Zeke's sudden hesitation, a question mark appearing. Now wearing a mask, Zeke stands stiffly, his hand not taking Abel's as a sword hilt is offered. Abel's hand remains extended as he trails off, waiting for Zeke's response. Abel smirks, remarking, "This is awkward, Zeke, even for the sake of saving face." Zeke internally seethes, his eyes narrowed. I can't shake this scum's hand. Abel lowers his hand, deciding, it can't be helped. I'll have to settle for having seen your face. Turning to leave, Abel casually tells Zeke, I'll see you again, Zeke. Zeke watches Abel depart, quietly affirming, yeah, as Abel walks away. Clenching his fist, Zeke glares after him, internally vowing, I'll see you again. Elsewhere, nobles discuss the events, to new purebloods, huh? Zeke's golden light was quite shocking. Another adds, isn't that the first time it's happened? We thought he failed to awaken at first. A noble looks around the emptying hall, wondering aloud, where is he now? On a quiet balcony, Zeke has discarded his formal jacket and gloves, sighing, phew. Zeke unbuttons his collar, sighing, I thought I was going to suffocate in there. He stands alone in a lavish room, pondering, that aside. Zeke questions how he's fine, knowing purebloods possess mana inhibition. This ability opposes dragons, but also disrupts mana-fueled machines. A flashback shows a figure in uniform as text explains purebloods need special gloves. Zeke glances at his discarded gloves, realizing problems should have occurred when he removed them. He summons his status window, revealing his unique immortal class and ancient dragon's blessing. Zeke notes his status is different, pondering mana reflection instead of mana inhibition. Determined to understand, he declares, I'll need to read it properly. A skill description appears. Mana reflection creates a distortion field to nullify nearby mana. Zeke realizes mana reflection is categorized as a skill, explaining why the mana lamps were unaffected. He compares his previous rare healer status to his current unique immortal class. A sudden realization hits Zeke, his hand covering his face in thought. He remembers all the other graduates had regular awakenings with a blue aura. Only Raina, the other pure blood, displayed a red aura during her awakening. Zeke recalls his own awakening was initially red, then dramatically shifted to gold. He remembers the system stating the classification terminal lost information, questioning if it meant the bronze statue. The system then used its authority to input class data, causing the halted bronze statue to emit a red light. Zeke leans back, exasperated, muttering, so that's what happened. He deduces the bronze statue doesn't just confirm awakening, but determines class disposition, with red signifying a rare class. He concludes the gold light signified his unique class, not just pureblood status. Zeke realizes the ancient bronze statue, once used for class determination, was misunderstood. He scoffs, realizing generations misread the red light as pureblood awakening, not a rare class. Suddenly, Zeke notices he has 100 karma points with a draconian skill unlockable for 10. He wonders if these are the karma points he lost previously. Deciding to investigate, Zeke prepares to spend points to view his draconian skill. His status window updates, revealing new draconian skills. Dragon Eyes, Might of the Dragon, and Devour, all locked. Zeke considers the first two skills, Dragon Eyes and Might of the Dragon, as potential unlocks. He then questions the Devour skill, wondering why eating a lock cost a hefty 50 points. Zeke mulls over his options, preferring a clearly beneficial skill over a gamble. Zeke reclines, thinking Might of the Dragon is too dangerous to test here. A system notification confirms the activation of his Dragon Eyes skill. He stands, his foot tapping the floor, and mutters, looking around. Zeke scans the room, initially disappointed. I expected more, but nothing's really changed. He suddenly jolts, exclaiming, wait, as he turns sharply towards the window. One of Zeke's eyes now glows with a fiery golden light as he laughs, haha. This doesn't even make sense. Looking out, he marvels. The statue in the center of the garden looks like it's right in front of me. This could be really useful. A system window appears with a diaring sound, showing a hand reaching, and Zeke wonders. The system asks for confirmation on detailed information as multiple alerts pop up, making Zeke exclaim, What? Instantly, information tags appear on everything in the room, identifying items like a carpet made from the room empire. Zeke groans, his glowing eye dimming slightly as sweat drips down his face from the strain. He stumbles backward, clutching his chest, exclaiming, What? My body is. Collapsing into a gilded chair, Zeke exhales sharply, wondering, are all draconian skills like this? Suddenly, system notifications announce his healing factor and vigor recovery class skills are activating. Zeke stares at a new system window, puzzled. What? I didn't intend to use healing. Leaning closer to the interface near a bowl of fruit, a thought strikes him. Wait. He realizes with a shock. All my class skills have changed into passive abilities, and their levels have increased by 1. The healing factor skill now passively repairs his body, making Zeke sweat drop. This is too broken. A memory surfaces of him being pierced by light, as a system note clarifies healing isn't spammable. Another grim recollection shows him impaled by many swords, reminding him its effects are limited. Zeke considers his healing factor, realizing its potential is infinite. Determined, he grabs a nearby fruit knife, deciding, I need to test this. With a grimace, Zeke deliberately slices his own forearm. Blood splatters as a system notification confirms healing factor has activated. Astonished, Zeke watches the deep gash on his arm rapidly mend, exclaiming, no way. Leaning back, he contemplates the Academy's usual 5-year duration. A confident smirk spreads across Zeke's face as he vows, I'll finish it in 2. The scene shifts, introducing Draker Academy, the continent's most prestigious night school. An aerial view shows the academy teeming with students as a new spring semester begins. Amongst the crowd, students in uniform chat anticipating the start of their academy life. Zeke observes the higher-ranked students, noting their polished demeanor, no different from adults. He then considers those from the cradle, a group appearing less composed and more uneasy. Zeke internally scorns the children from the great families, seeing their established authority as proof of a corrupt system. A narrative box explains countless branch families support the transcendent Draker family. For crests appear, highlighting the 3 most influential, known as the Great Families. The Turin family, symbolizing strength, is represented by a formidable female student. Students from the Zimmons family, epitomizing wisdom, gather with an air of shrewdness. The Vardic family, associated with gold and martial prowess, presents a disciplined, serious contingent. A smirk plays on Zeke's lips as he observes the evident issues even among these elite children. Dismissing their affairs, Zeke confidently walks away from a group gathered near a campus map. The scene shifts to the imposing high-class dormitory Platinum Mansion. Zeke strides towards the Platinum Mansion, remarking, sure is nice to be a purebred. Inside, the dormitory boasts a training hall and library exclusive to the highest-ranked students. Pure-blood awakeners like Zeke are granted floor master status, commanding an entire platinum floor. A maid greets Zeke warmly upon his arrival. Welcome, Sir Zeke Draker. An entire retinue of staff bows deeply, hailing him as master, as they prepare to escort him. Zeke chuckles nervously, thinking, isn't this a bit much, even if I'm a pure-blood? An attendant informs a surprised Zeke that Sir Decker is waiting for you in your room. Entering his opulent room, Decker greets him, welcome, young master, and states, I have something to deliver to you. Zeke reacts with a startled, as he spots a large, ornate chest on a nearby table. Zeke admires his new gloves, remarking they're far superior to temporary ones. He then declares his intention to acquire a new sword to match his upgraded gear. Decker readily agrees, calling it an excellent decision, as Zeke thoughtfully considers his options. The attendant explains the Duchy of Troy, near the Giants Mountains, boasts superior iron and craftsmen. It's so renowned, Decker adds, that Academy alumni often choose Trojan-made first weapons. As Decker offers to find a craftsman, Zeke picks up a sword, declining his help. Zeke confidently states he already has a specific craftsman in mind for his new blade. He hands Decker a note, instructing him to arrange an appointment for a personal visit. Decker reads the name Galleon Halbert, unfamiliar, but promising to contact them immediately. Finally, Decker reminds Zeke to review Academy documents as classes start tomorrow. Much to Zeke's slight annoyance, sunlight streams into Zeke's luxurious room, signaling a new day. Alone, Zeke sits reviewing Academy documents, the gifted chest nearby. He smirks, realizing the Platinum floor's isolation is perfect for honing his draconian skills. A knock at the grand double doors interrupts his thoughts. Zeke invites them in. A maid enters, politely informing him, Floor Master Raina has sent a dinner invitation. Zeke raises an eyebrow, surprised by the invitation. Raina has? Decisively, he instructs the maid, take me there. As the scene shifts to an elegant estate, Zeke strolls through a new area, a curious expression on his face as he observes his surroundings. He lets out a small, almost mocking thought, isn't that cute? Now seated, Zeke faces Raina Turun and her entourage, Riley wondering if they're a southern cartel. Raina apologizes, admitting my family's people are rather peculiar. Zeke, with a slight smile, graciously replies, thanks for your concern. From above, Raina suggests, let's discuss business after our meal as her retinue stands by. Zeke's eye narrows as he internally identifies Raina, the Lightning Knight. He observes Raina's controlled aura, wondering if she's already targeting the Purple Knight position. Yet, Zeke internally questions, then why is her swordsmanship stuck in a rut? Surveying the scene, Zeke laments, what a waste of her potential. Zeke lets out an awkward laugh, eyeing the mountain of empty plates before Raina. Raina, finishing her meal, remarks on Zeke's appetite before declaring, we're done eating, so I'll get right down to business. Raina makes her offer directly, accept the Turun family's support, Zeke Draker. Raina tells Zeke he seems to have forgotten they are both pure-blood awakeners, suggesting he misunderstands their nature. She concedes pure-bloods receive many privileges, with the platinum floor itself being clear proof. However, Raina points out they don't receive any special benefits when it comes to actual growth. She highlights the Academy's centuries of know-how and personal instructors as vital for development. Raina warns that without these resources, even the most privileged will inevitably fall behind. With a determined look, she declares, that is why support families are necessary. Raina mentions even Abel Draker, a pureblood and legendary knight, relied on the Zimmons family's support. She then reveals her family's patriarch told her Zeke isn't receiving support from his maternal side. Raina, with fierce intensity, repeats her offer for Zeke to accept the Turun family's backing. Zeke, with a smug grin and a dismissive hand wave, simply responds no. Raina is left utterly speechless, a large question mark punctuating her confusion. But why? She stammers, receiving our support isn't a bad deal, Zeke calmly replies. It's not about that. He asserts with a serene smile. I don't need anything more than what I already receive as a pure-blood awakener. Zeke then stands and walks away, remarking, it's not much, but in return for the meal. Leaning casually against a tree, a knowing smirk appears as he offers, I'll give you one piece of advice you need right now. Raina's eyes narrow as Zeke bluntly states, your sword has too much strength behind it. His draconian-marked glove glows faintly as he elaborates. I guess you're too conscious of those men. Turning under a sunlit tree, Zeke instructs, listen well, Raina. He then reveals her key advantage. Your greatest strength is the fluidity that arises from having a flexible body. His hand now pulses with visible energy as he advises, don't receive attacks head-on, and crush your opponents with strength. Zeke advises Raina to fluidly cast aside her opponent's attacks, a whirlwind of leaves emphasizing his point. He continues, suggesting she should then land a single, delicate strike. With leaves swirling around him, Zeke promises, if you can do that, you'll grow. Raina absorbs his words, as Zeke concludes she'll become several times stronger than you are now. Casually waving, Zeke thanks Raina for the meal and departs. Raina slams her gloved fist down, the Turun family crest prominent. She angrily declares her family is the herald of strength, justifying her methods as tradition. Yet an internal voice admits, no, he's right, as she reflects on her swordsmanship. Raina realizes her obsession with the Turun name unintentionally burdened her sword. A lone leaf on the carpet underscores her thought, he simply saw right through that. Raina reflects, when I was young, everyone praised me as a genius. She clenches the leaf, admitting, and not one person gave me any real advice, Zeke Draker. With newfound resolve, Raina wonders, just who are you? Elsewhere, Zeke strides confidently, noting his changed class skills given same performance. Even after all-night training, he internally muses, in my past life, I thought of this place as being hell itself. Zeke smiles contentedly, but now that I'm a pure-blood awakener, this place is heaven. Strolling past other students training, he concedes, money and power aren't everything. But there's nothing quite like this. Two figures in green uniforms watch Zeke walk towards a large academy building. Zeke's gaze sharpens, focusing intently on an approaching group. He identifies one student, Owen, noting, so you're part of the special class too. Zeke recalls Owen Zimmons, third son of a great family who bullied him through others. Owen approaches Zeke, asking why he didn't reply to a dinner invitation. Zeke smirks, remembering the invitation pinned to his desk with a dagger. Owen, with a stern look, presses Zeke again. Why did you not reply? Zeke, with a dismissive smile, finds Owen's persistence amusing. He coldly questions why he'd bother replying to every invitation. Suddenly, a foot stomps down angrily near Zeke. One of Owen's companions, sneering, calls Zeke rude for his attitude. The same companion glares down at Zeke, demanding, who are you, Zeke Draker? He then recoils in disbelief, exclaiming, how could you not know me? Zeke sighs, unimpressed, thinking, looks like those from the cradle aren't worth much after all. The companion warns Zeke, keep in mind who you're speaking to, as blue energy flares around him. Zeke's eyes narrow, a similar blue energy crackling intensely around his focused gaze. The companion, eyes glowing, lunges aggressively, but Zeke effortlessly leaps to evade. Midair, Zeke coolly observes. It seems high-ranking students are capable of basic aura manipulation. The companion introduces himself as Durbin Roswell, Durbin the Mighty, vowing to teach Zeke manners for Owen. Zeke, eyes now glowing purple, scoffs internally. So a cadet that isn't even a knight has a pseudonym. Flipping midair, surrounded by intense purple aura, Zeke declares, what a joke. A devastating punch, crackling with purple energy, lands with immense force. Durbin recoils, blood erupting from his mouth and nose, his face a mask of shock and pain. Durbin is sent flying, crashing hard into the ground from Zeke's powerful blow. Zeke stands over the fallen Durbin, mockingly asking, so, who's next after Durbin the Mighty? With a chilling smile, Zeke taunts, hurry up and pick, young Master Owen. Owen steps forward, his remaining companions watching as he confronts Zeke. Owen retorts, you sure like to bask in your own glory, Zeke Draker. Zeke, observing Owen and his group before the Grand Academy, scoffs internally, what a joke. The scene shifts, explaining Draker Academy's normal class, rigorous training for those lacking talent. In contrast, the special class allows students to freely choose subjects beyond basics. An elite gathering. Zeke, now in a classroom, reflects with a hint of disappointment. That's why I had some expectations. Surveying his classmates, Zeke scathingly thinks, what special class? This is just the cradle class. Before someone demands quiet, the instructor announces a very special guest to encourage the special class freshmen. A student gasps, recalling the guest was Commander-in-Chief during the Eastern Empire War. Another student chimes in, he was also the hero who stopped the Empire's invasion. Dean Howard Draker, the Academy's head, formally greets the assembled gentlemen. Zeke internally scoffs at the title war hero, Howard Draker, remembering him differently. He recalls Howard leaked information for his own survival, a traitor who merely got lucky. Zeke glares, thinking with contempt, that rat's no hero. Instead, Zeke remembers Howard as the main perpetrator who got him expelled from the Academy. Zeke recalls losing his only place to belong, forced to wander the Duchy of Troy. His bitter memories continue, ending with him caught by slave traders and sold to the Southern Cartel. Zeke glares, internally vowing, I'll make sure to pay him back for that. An instructor announces basic classes will begin immediately in the arena. The students eagerly respond, yes, sir, as they gather in the special class indoor arena. Zeke stands among them, surprised that even the special class learns basic dragon slaying. He recalls his past struggles, his inability to use aura severely hindering his training. Sighing, Zeke remembers taking 2 years for what others learned in months, sarcastically thinking, please go easy on me. A blonde-haired instructor, seen from behind, formally welcomes the cadets. He introduces himself as Andre Draker, the Rose Knight, who will teach dragon slaying basics. Students observe their surprisingly young instructor, noting his formal Draker uniform. One student recognizes him aloud, Andre, the Rose Knight. Students whisper that Andre, despite not being a pureblood, is a genius who graduated Valhalla as valedictorian. Zeke internally notes that even special class teachers are on another level, and Andre is known for his inflexibility. A sharp command cuts through the chatter, quiet. Andre's eyes glow an intimidating red as he glares at the noisy cadets. He sternly announces, if you're done chattering, I will begin the class. Andre orders, everyone, draw your swords, and the cadets comply. Suddenly, Andre's sharp red eye catches sight of something unusual. He focuses on Zeke, questioning, Cadet, what is that sword? Zeke effortlessly swings his enormous blade in a swift, powerful arc. Holding the massive weapon steady, Zeke calmly replies, as you can see, it's the sword I'm using. Andre's red eyes fix on Zeke as he commands, step onto the arena. The instructor questions Zeke, Cadet, are you not aware you must pick a sword that suits your body? Zeke internally admits, I knew this would happen, having drawn his sword to deliberately stand out. With a smirk, Zeke provokes, I'm sure I could beat you with the sword, instructor. As Andre's eyes flare, a system window pops up, class skill activating indomitable mental defense as they face off. Andre grips his own sword, replying coolly, I understand, Cadet. As Andre continues, if you wish to learn with your body, Zeke thinks with satisfaction. He bit, Andre declares, if your blade so much as touches my body, you'll be exempt from punishment for rudeness. A powerful red aura erupts around Andre, his single visible eye glowing fiercely. Andre finishes, his glowing eye intense, but also from this dragon's lane basics class. Zeke smirks, confidently accepting Andrei's challenge. All right then. His massive blade scrapes the arena floor, kicking up dust as he prepares his first move. Zeke lunges, his enormous sword glowing with purple energy as he swings at Andrei. Andrei's red glowing sword meets Zeke's in a shower of sparks, a sharp clang echoing. Zeke thinks, as expected of a blue knight, this won't be easy as Andrei calmly faces him. Andrei masterfully deflects a barrage of Zeke's attacks, appearing to fight multiple opponents. Onlooking students whisper, he hasn't managed to even graze his clothes for 30 minutes. Zeke leaps high, aiming a powerful downward slash at the seemingly unfazed instructor. Andrei's hand tightens on his sword hilt, the blade vibrating with contained energy. Andrei observes Zeke internally questioning, what's with his ridiculous stamina? Andrei grits his teeth, frustrated at struggling against a cadet even while suppressing his aura. He internally laments the inherent, unfair advantage of pure blood lineage. Zeke observes Andrei, noting his opponent's stamina remains as poor as he remembers. Zeke realizes Andrei suppressing his mana is only making things worse for the instructor. A flashback reveals the Draker's peculiar aura cultivation, always active, even during meals. This method demands constant aura activation, akin to breathing, through all daily activities. Zeke deduces that for Andrei, suppressing his aura is like holding his breath. As their blades clash, Zeke knows his unconventional style further drains Andrei's limited stamina. Zeke nimbly dodges Andrei's thrust, creating distance between them. Kneeling, Zeke considers his next move, feeling that a simple win by attrition isn't satisfying. Zeke decides there's no helping it as a purple shockwave emanates from his position. He clashes blades with Andrei, determined, I have to force him to use aura. Zeke lunges again, knowing, creating situations that can be easily handled is useless. Flipping through the air, Zeke plots, I need something that'll make him unconsciously use aura. He concludes his thought, in other words, an extreme situation. Zeke lands and immediately propels himself forward, sword leading the charge. A purple energy wave erupts from his blade as a system window announces, Skill Swift Steps activated. Andrei stares in disbelief, exclaiming, Swift Steps, as multiple purple energy lines crisscross towards him. The barrage of purple slashes intensifies, and Andrei internally shouts, Nitrogen monoxide way. Another system window pops up, Skill Critical Strike activated as Zeke, wreathed in purple aura, prepares a devastating overhead blow. Andrei stares, aghast. How can a cadet know Swift Steps? His glowing red eye narrows, processing the unbelievable skill unfolding before him. The instructor's pupil constricts, reflecting the imminent, powerful blow. Zeke's enormous blade, crackling with purple energy, slams down with devastating force. Multiple purple afterimages of Zeke converge, illustrating the deadly combination of Swift Steps and Critical Strike. Andrei, eyes now blazing blue, unleashes his own technique. Chapter 1. The first verse. Zeke grins, his massive sword descending as the skill Sky Slice is declared. A colossal explosion of blue and purple energy erupts as their ultimate attacks collide. The watching cadets recoil, faces pale with shock at the sheer power displayed. Zeke's colossal sword lies shattered and embedded in the arena floor as he curses, shit. Zeke smirks through the pain, blood dripping. As the system window announces, Class Skill Healing Factor activated. Exhausted, Zeke declares, now I can collapse, and falls forward onto the dusty arena floor. Andrei stands before a massive crack in the arena, a testament to the fierce battle. His gauntleted hand clenches tightly around his sword hilt, the metal groaning. Andrei turns, his back to the fallen Zeke, a silent acknowledgement in his posture. Looking down at the unconscious cadet, Andrei states this cadet does not need to attend class anymore. He addresses the stunned onlookers from above. Are there any other cadets who wish to be exempt? The remaining cadets stare in terrified silence, sweat beading on their foreheads. Andrei's eyes glow red with intensity. I will assume that there is none. He commands, now then, lift your sword from now on. The cadets will see a true Drakers. As Zeke is carried to the infirmary, Zeke rests in the infirmary, smugly reflecting. That was a pretty good performance if I say so myself. He recalls forcing Andrei to use his aura, gaining the instructor's acknowledgement despite not landing a hit. Zeke smiles, content that Andrei faced consequences while he earned himself some free time, a clear win-win. His thoughts drift to Andrei's final, powerful attack. He remembers it as Sky Slice, the most basic move of the Dragonslayer arts. Yet, even a fundamental technique from Andrei was formidable. Zeke believes with his stamina and healing, he could beat a Blue Knight. But that's not his ultimate goal. Gazing out the window, he realizes his current strength isn't enough to live freely. Like a bird taking flight, Zeke desires unrestrainable power to avoid any restrictions. He concludes he needs power that ensures he'll never submit as a new, ominous figure appears. Cackling. A disheveled man with a bottle appears, so you're Arthur's youngest son. Zeke, startled in his infirmary bed, demands, who the hell is? The stranger notes Zeke's eyes resemble Arthur's. As Zeke wonders how he missed the strong scent of booze. Who are you? Zeke asks, but the man retorts, how'd you do that earlier, kid? As the man drinks, Zeke internally scoffs at his nerve, questioning what he means. Setting his bottle down, the man accuses, feigning ignorance, gosh. He reveals, you were inflicted with an internal wound earlier, recalling Zeke's bleeding. How did it heal instantaneously? The man presses, as Zeke realizes his healing factor was noticed. A system window, indomitable mental defense activated. As Zeke resolves not to reveal his healing, Zeke feigns ignorance, prompting the man to ask, so you're going to keep up this charade? Zeke's eyes widen as the stranger suddenly brandishes a sword. Reacting instantly, Zeke throws himself backward, a blue blur evading the sudden threat. Tumbling to the floor, Zeke exclaims, an assassin, his own sword clattering beside him. The stranger watches Zeke's evasive maneuver with a flicker of surprise. Using his blanket as a distraction, Zeke thinks, this kid's got tricks. As the stranger is momentarily covered, system windows flash, swift steps, precise stab, and critical strike activate as Zeke's instincts scream danger. Wreathed in purple energy, Zeke launches an aerial attack, convinced, if I don't kill him, he'll kill me. His hands reach out, aiming for a decisive blow through the makeshift cover. The stranger effortlessly catches a sharp projectile between his fingers, remarking, your ability in adapting to the situation is impressive. Now face to face, the stranger grins, holding Zeke at bay, almost like. The stranger, eyes glinting red, finishes his thought, a mercenary. As Zeke wonders who this man is, their blades lock, the stranger easily deflecting Zeke's desperate attack. His unsettling grin widens, repeating, a mercenary, the words hanging heavy in the air. The man stands casually, Zeke's blanket still in hand, sword held loosely. Zeke skids across the polished floor, his evasive maneuver barely keeping him safe. Staring back, Zeke questions the term mercenary, a chill running down his spine. The stranger balances his sword on a fingertip, musing as Zeke wonders if his past life is known. With a flick of his finger, the stranger sends something flying. Zeke's own sword embeds itself in the wall beside him. As the man suggests he's more mercenary than knight, Zeke realizes the immense power gap. This man is at least a red knight, capable of killing him instantly. The stranger notes Zeke's basic claymore, questioning his talent with such a weapon, then muses he's even stronger. Suddenly, the infirmary door creaks open, and Zeke turns, startled by the new arrival. Andre steps into the room, his hand on his sword, declaring, so this is where you were. Zeke stares in disbelief, wondering, Andre, why is this guy? Andre addresses the disheveled man, garden keeper Dexter. As Zeke realizes the stranger's identity, Dexter grumbles at Andre, who retorts he saw him at the training room earlier. Noting his quick wit, Andre tells Zeke if you're done getting treated, you can return, cadet. To which Zeke nervously agrees. As Andre reaches the door, Dexter stops him, calling out, kid. Dexter grins, inviting Zeke to the Academy's western greenhouse, promising to teach him something useful. Zeke watches Andre depart, silently contemplating Dexter's unexpected proposition. Zeke coolly declines Dexter's offer with a polite no thanks as Andre departs. Dexter fumes. Would you look at that mouth of yours? Your personality is the same as Arthur's too. Alone, Zeke leans against the door, musing, garden keeper Dexter. Who is he trying to fool? He recalls Dexter casually mentioning Arthur Draker, realizing the man's significant standing. Zeke deduces Dexter must be the legendary figure who mentored only Andre his entire life. The truth dawns on Zeke. Dexter is none other than Duke Draker, the fearsome Gale Knight. He remembers tales of Duke Draker, a black knight powerful enough to challenge an entire kingdom alone. Zeke considers how the once famous Duke vanished, only to resurface leading a quiet life at the Academy. Gazing out the window, Zeke ponders Dexter's frightening tenacity as a duke. A chilling rumor surfaces Dexter supposedly became a black knight, simply because he favored the color black. Zeke acknowledges the Duke's strong interest, but dismisses superficial teaching. He smirks, determined to learn Dexter's secret move, turning mere interest into focused tenacity. The scene shifts to the Grand Academy building under a clear blue sky. Inside a lecture hall, Academy Magic Theory Professor Fan imposes a question to his class. However, nearly every student in the room is fast asleep at their desks. Undeterred, Professor Fanon explains that forming mana formulas can cause damage due to resistance. Zeke, attentive and taking notes, raises his hand with a query about the mana transfer energy law. Professor Fanon's glasses gleam as he reacts with visible, almost startling delight. He excitedly admits it's his first question ever, then begins to address mana transfer. The professor delves into the intricacies of mana, explaining the core concept. The bell rings, signaling the end of Professor Fannin's engaging lecture. As students file out, Zeke reflects on the surprisingly insightful magic theory class. Just as Zeke prepares to leave, Professor Fannin nervously calls out to him. Zeke turns, curious, as the flustered professor stammers, "It's nothing much." Fannin beams, inviting Zeke to his lab, revealing he's a knowledgeable Delphoa Magic University alumnus. Zeke is impressed. Delphoa is the very birthplace of magic, making Fannin's background significant. Politely accepting, Zeke inwardly notes the potential benefits of befriending a skilled mage. Zeke muses that mages, with their flexible minds, often make better allies than rigid knights. Recalling Fannin's lecture, Zeke considers how the professor might prove to be a valuable asset. A calculating glint appears in Zeke's eye as he weighs his options. Zeke walks away, noting Dexter's surprising lack of patience. Elsewhere, Dexter, slumped on a bench, wonders how long it's been since his offer. Lifting his head from a book, Dexter casually asks Zeke if he's finished. Zeke finds Dexter, who immediately questions why he never came to the greenhouse. Dexter presses his offer of useful knowledge, but Zeke firmly states his disinterest. Dexter erupts in a comical fit of disbelief, demanding to know why. Zeke acknowledges Dexter's talent but claims to be busy with his own training. Suddenly, Dexter's hand glows with power as he challenges Zeke's assumption. A spark of blue light reflects in Zeke's eye, signaling imminent danger. With a menacing grin, Dexter swiftly brings his powered hand down towards a shocked Zeke. Zeke groans, slowly regaining consciousness with a blurry view of a window. He realizes Dexter knocked him out, musing that waiting a week was too much for the Duke. Looking around, Zeke identifies his surroundings as the Western greenhouse. Dexter's voice calls out, "You up, kid?" as a water ink drips nearby. Zeke, now sitting up, confronts Dexter, who's casually drinking. "Did you abduct me?" With a sly grin, Dexter confirms, "Yes, I have abducted you." Dexter leans in, his expression intense, admitting, "I'm a bit interested in you, kid." Zeke clenches his gloved fist, noting Dexter's blatant impatience. Suddenly, a system notification declares, "Skill activating swift steps." Zeke burst forward with incredible speed, exclaiming internally, "But IT's not time yet." Dexter suddenly appears behind Zeke, taunting, "Peekaboo." Zeke, startled, barely evades Dexter's swift attack, a purple energy trail marking his dodge. Landing, Zeke thinks with frustration, "He's still treating me as a joke," as dust settles. Dexter casually sips from a bottle, musing, "I need something to light a fire." While Zeke demands, "What about me has drawn your interest?" Dexter clarifies, "I asked you how your internal wounds healed instantaneously," shocking Zeke. A sly smirk plays on Zeke's lips as he realizes, so that's what bothered him. Dexter narrows his eyes, challenging, "If you're that curious, make me answer you." In a flash, Zeke vanishes, leaving Dexter momentarily surprised by the sudden disappearance. Dexter exclaims he's disappeared, spotting Zeke already fleeing in the distance. "Where is he?" Dexter mutters. Then a blur indicates he's launching himself in pursuit. Zeke, having circled back, brings his sword down hard towards an unsuspecting Dexter. Dexter's eyes widen in shock as the blade aims directly for his head. With incredible agility, Dexter leans back, the sword narrowly missing him, slicing the air with purple energy. Dexter quickly regains his footing, his gloved fist clenching as he lands solidly. Now armed with his own sword, Dexter faces Zeke, questioning, "What are you doing?" As Zeke calmly walks away, Dexter proposes, "You told me to make you answer me, but that's too easy. So let's make a bet." Dexter confidently declares, "If you graze even a single piece of my clothes, I'll grant you one wish. Like master, like disciple." His gaze intensifies as he lays out the condition. "But if you give up on this duel, you have to tell me everything you're hiding." A chilling, eager grin spreads across Dexter's face, his eyes glowing with anticipation. An immense surge of power erupts, signaling the true beginning of their confrontation. Zeke dashes through the greenhouse, the battle clearly taking its toll on the surroundings. Dexter, slightly battered, clenches his fist, muttering, "Just what is that kid made out of?" Dust settles around Dexter as he realizes it's already been 3 hours. Gripping a rock, Dexter understands it's not just good stamina, there's something more. Zeke stands firm, sword in hand. As Dexter observes his stamina and wounds are limitlessly recovering, Dexter's eyes narrow, a look of intense scrutiny fixed on his opponent. Though visibly weary, Zeke pushes through the exhaustion, dust swirling around him. System notifications reveal healing factor and infinite stamina are active. Yet Zeke knows he can't win the bet this way. Zeke recalls a powerful, unused skill, Might of the Dragon, previously deemed too dangerous. He decides that against a Black Knight, unleashing this formidable power is finally justified. Dark, formidable energy erupts from Zeke, his eyes blazing with purple light. Dexter, with a wild look, declares, "Let's keep going," his own gaze burning with intensity. A crazed grin spreads across Dexter's face as he roars, "Yes, that's how you should be." Zeke, wreathed in violet power, lunges forward, sword poised to strike. The system announces skill swift steps activated as Zeke's footfall shatters the ground. With glowing eyes, Zeke brings his blade down in a powerful arc towards Dexter. Dexter smirks, unimpressed by the repeated attacks, yet notes something more. Zeke's face contorts with fierce determination, a raw spite that Dexter finds exhilarating. A blue aura begins to gather round Dexter's hand as he considers using his own power. Suddenly, a system alert flashes, Draconian skill Might of the Dragon activated. As a golden light surprises Dexter, their blades collide, Zeke's golden aura clashing with Dexter's raw power. Dexter, momentarily stunned, wonders what just, as he navigates the sudden dust cloud. Did he block my vision? Dexter muses, confident Zeke will also struggle to find him. But Zeke, eyes blazing, appears above Dexter, sword poised for a devastating downward strike. A close-up reveals Zeke's eye glowing with an intense golden light, his focus absolute. The system announces Draconian skill Dragon Eyes activated as Dexter reacts to the new threat. Zeke's attack descends, but Dexter, with incredible speed, deflects the blow with his forearm. A deep boot print in the earth marks the force of Dexter's evasive maneuver. Golden energy flares as the high-speed chase continues, kicking up more dust. Standing amidst the swirling aftermath, Zeke looks around, questioning, is this? Zeke realizes Dexter's simple dash created an immense gust, questioning if it's the Duke's secret move. His golden eye wide, Zeke wonders if this incredible speed is why Dexter is called the Gale Knight. As Zeke begins to speak, Dexter's determined face appears beside him, ready for the next move. Suddenly, Dexter, eyes blazing red, materializes behind a shocked Zeke, who exclaims, "What?" Dexter, now above Zeke, seizes him with a glowing hand, declaring, "Called as a draw, kid." Blood erupts from Zeke's mouth as his sword slips from his grasp, clattering to the ground. Dexter effortlessly swings Zeke through the air, a blur of motion against the white background. A massive shockwave signifies a brutal impact as the battle reaches a critical point. System alerts flash, fatigue limit surpassed, consciousness shutting down. As a beaten Zeke, Riley thinks, like master, like disciple. Dexter looms over the fallen Zeke, reaching out as Zeke's last thought is a desperate SH shit. A brilliant, ornate crest flashes, signifying a transition or awakening. Zeke groans, clutching his head as he slowly regains consciousness. He finds himself in a luxurious room, wondering if Dexter brought him there. Slumping onto the bed, Zeke sighs, "Ha, I almost won." His sword resting nearby. Lying back, he reflects on the fight, acknowledging, as expected of a Black Knight. Zeke recalls giving his all, using every tactic, yet it proved futile against Dexter. He remembers unleashing Dragon Eyes, but even that wasn't enough to secure victory. The Duke's final, decisive skill was undoubtedly his secret move, Zeke realizes. Despite the loss, Zeke's eye gleams. He's grateful he witnessed Dexter's true power. He marvels at Dexter's incredible speed, a result of an extremely trained physique. Zeke muses that Dexter's secret move must be how Andre, despite weak stamina, became a Red Knight. He sighs, regretting not learning the move, but still considers the fight valuable. Zeke remembers his Might of the Dragon, a power that could intimidate even a Black Knight. Suddenly, a system chime startles Zeke as he rests. An unread message notification appears, revealing his swift step skill has upgraded to high-speed movement. More alerts flash. His soul has developed, activating new system functions unlockable with karma points. New system options appear, minimap, inventory, and quest book, all locked behind karma point cost. With 40 karma points, Zeke considers the new features, finding inventory most immediately useful. He decisively taps yes on the prompt to activate his new inventory function. The system confirms inventory activation, explaining its use as an empty grid appears. The system explains inventory space, item weight, and size matter, and karma points can expand it. Zeke, gazing at the glowing grid, ponders, select the item I want. He grasps his sword, figuring storing items is as intuitive as activating skills with a thought. Focusing intently on his blade, Zeke mentally commands, save, save, save. His sword glows with a blue light, then vanishes from his grip with a surprise from Zeke. The claymore reappears as an icon in his inventory, taking up 2 slots, confirming the system's size rule. Oh, Zeke exclaims as he successfully recalls the sword, which materializes back into his hand. A grin spreads across Zeke's face. This inventory is far superior to mere subspace storage. He recalls the hassle of carrying his expensive artifact and other gear before this convenient upgrade. Sunlight streams in as Zeke realizes he can even increase this amazing inventory space using points. Zeke realizes this powerful inventory is just a low-rank administrator function. He wonders about higher ranks, deciding to use his valuable karma points wisely. With new possibilities, Zeke thoughtfully considers adjusting his future plans. A knock interrupts. His butler, Decker, asks to enter, and Zeke permits him. Decker enters, informing Zeke, "There's a message for you." The butler reveals the sender, garden keeper Dexter, piquing Zeke's interest. A subtle, knowing smile plays on Decker's lips as he delivers the news. Zeke takes the note, which reads, "Kid, if you want to challenge me again, come whenever." He recalls Dexter's words during their fight. "Let's call this a draw, kid," finally understanding. A determined grin spreads across Zeke's face. The chance to fight Dexter again remains. Decker, with a serious expression, tells Zeke, "I have one more thing to tell you." He found the blacksmith Zeke sought, prompting an eager Zeke to ask about the appointment as his damaged sword is shown. However, Decker, adjusting his monocle, gravely states, "There is a problem." The blacksmith refused the appointment, leaving Zeke exclaiming, "What? Why?" Before a rustic workshop, Decker begins to explain. He doesn't, as the view shifts to a disheveled, dimly lit room. "Make weapons anymore," Decker finishes, revealing a figure slumped amidst bottles and discarded swords. Undeterred, Zeke steps out of a carriage, arriving at a destination. He stands before the blacksmith's workshop, remarking, "It's been a while." Zeke smirks at the sign papped near his breath, musing, it sure is a grand name for a workshop." Entering the cluttered interior, Zeke calls out, "Anyone in," to the seemingly empty, messy space. Zeke recalls the legendary sword Galleon's masterpiece, forged as payment for saving his life. He remembers Galleon, the blacksmith of the soul, truly understood him, crafting a weapon perfectly suited to his needs. The sword possessed the unique ability to convert ether into aura, a power Zeke desperately required. But the sight before him is shocking. The continent's greatest blacksmith, Galleon, is now a drunkard. Galleon Halbert, the blacksmith of the soul, glares at Zeke, dismissing him. "This isn't a place for children, so get out." Zeke, scanning the disheveled workshop, wonders what could have driven the once moody blacksmith to this extreme state. With a determined hup, Zeke hoists a bucket brimming with cold water. He splashes the entire bucket onto Galleon, drenching the startled blacksmith mid-swig. The empty bucket clatters to the floor, water pooling around the now soaking Galleon. Zeke smirks, waving casually, "Are you awake now?" hoping to snap the blacksmith out of his stupor. Galleon, still dripping, stares as Zeke demands, "I want to know why you rejected my commission." The blacksmith's eyes widen, recognizing the Draken family crest on Zeke's gloves, D.D. Draker. Galleon slams his head onto the counter, "And my apologies for showing such discourtesy." He explains he's not taking commissions, despairing. How can a bastard create what someone else wants, if he can't even make what he himself wants? Zeke watches, thinking, so even Galleon had a period like this. He reflects that Galleon was already the greatest blacksmith when they met, never revealing his earlier life. Zeke figures Galleon hid this embarrassing past, but declares, "But I can't just wait 10 years for him to come around." Galleon, sprawled on the floor amidst bottles, cries out, "Why am I so useless? Can I even make weapons again?" A comically distraught Galleon wails about being a useless blacksmith as Zeke shouts, "Galleon Halbert." As Galleon apologizes for his disgraceful behavior, Zeke calmly replies, "Worry not. I wish to see some of your failures." Galleon, flustered, stammers, "I'll guide you to the back. There's no helping it." Zeke, walking away, resolves, "I must guide him to the right path myself." Outside, Galleon apologizes for the clutter, but Zeke waves it off. "It's fine, it's fine." They stand before a vast yard, countless swords stuck into the ground. Zeke calls it charming. Galleon offers a shy thank you as a particularly fine blade gleams in the foreground. Then Zeke says, stepping confidently into the field of discarded weapons. Galleon calls out, "Be careful, sir. Even if they're failed works, they're still sharp." As Zeke grasps a sword, examining several blades, Zeke declares, "This and this no. These are not failures." He confidently states, "They are of similar quality to the things he forged when he was named the best in the continent." Draconian skill dragon eyes activated, a system message announces as Zeke's eyes glow, confirming, "As I thought." Galleon, stunned, asks, "Is there a problem with your brazier?" Zeke, holding a sword, presses, How did you?" "I asked you a question." Zeke astutely observes, "You utilize your own style of smelting, correct?" He continues, "It seems you've mixed several metals to create a lighter and exquisite material." With a swift motion, Zeke slams the sword tip into the ground. The blade shatters dramatically as Zeke declares, "But the durability is weak." Zeke explains, "It's because impurities haven't been properly eliminated during the heat treatment process." Galleon is amazed. Zeke not only recognized his method, but also its major flaw and cause. Hope glimmers in Galleon's eyes. If it's this person, then perhaps, as he calls out, sire. Galleon approaches Zeke, saying, this might be a bit, no, very random. But I have something to ask of you. Galleon asks Zeke to examine something first, gesturing towards a large table. He dramatically unrolls a massive, intricate blueprint across the table for Zeke to see. Zeke studies the complex schematics, a thoughtful escaping his lips. The blueprint, Zeke recalls, is for a magic brazier, Galleon's secret revealed years later. Galleon excitedly explains his invention, a brazier with magically controlled temperature. Zeke acknowledges this device would perfect Galleon's unique smelting process. You have the full blueprints, Zeke presses, so why aren't you making it? Galleon reveals the crucial mana energy law blueprint is missing, and the magic tower's fee is an astounding 10,000 gold, leaving Zeke speechless at the exorbitant cost. Zeke sighs, realizing this absurd price is why it took Galleon a decade to afford it. Galleon states, that's why I wanted to ask you something. You're a Draker, and a pure-blooded awakener at that. He offers, if you were to make me the brazier, I will create any commission of yours for free, for as long as I live. Zeke internally muses, this is tricky, knowing 10,000 gold is beyond his reach. Yet he needs Graham. Suddenly, Zeke's eyes widen, a thought striking him. His issue is regarding mana energy laws. Wait, a glint in his eye, Zeke leans over the blueprint, mana energy laws. Decisively, Zeke rolls up the blueprint, announcing, very well, I'll accept. Galleon stares, dumbfounded, as Zeke confidently explains, I can ask a favor from a mage I know. As Zeke turns to leave, he adds, stop drinky, glancing towards some displayed armor. Galleon, overcome with emotion, cries, thank you, sir. This galleon will serve you for the rest of your life. Galleon's grateful shouts, thank you, sir, echo as Zeke departs under a clear sky. Zeke, in a departing carriage, reassures Galleon, I'll contact you once it's complete. His destination, the imposing Draker Academy professorial research buildings. Zeke strides across the campus, pondering the mage tower's exorbitant fee for a seemingly simple structure. He recalls his acquaintance, Fannin, whose expertise was precisely the design of mana energy laws. Zeke scans his surroundings, trying to locate Fannin's research lab. Suddenly he halts, his attention caught by something nearby. Zeke's eyes narrow, focusing intently on a specific direction. He discovers Fannin's lab is situated down a rather dim alleyway. Peering in, Zeke spots several figures, one of whom is Fannin, looking quite distressed and unwell. Fannin, overcome, collapses at Zeke's feet, tearfully apologizing, it's all my fault, so please. Zeke stares in utter disbelief, stammering, what? As Fannin collapses. Fannin, weeping, apologizes profusely to Sir Leon Conrad for daring to touch him. Suddenly, Zeke's foot slams down, a voiceover approving, yes, nicely said, Zeke. A sinister Leon Conrad looms over Fannin, offering a twisted reward, cleaning the dirtied land. Leon Conrad smirks back at the onlookers as Fannin shakily thanks him. Turning away, Leon Conrad curses under his breath, clearly disgusted. Voices from the past echo, branding someone vermin and a hindrance. Fannin is shown on the ground, bloodied, surrounded by disdainful figures, deemed a burden just by existing. Zeke's face contorts with fury, recalling a taunt. That bastard Zeke is the same. He clenches his fist, remembering his own unprecedented awakening. A stark contrast to this injustice. Zeke unleashes a furious kick, roaring, cut the bullshit. Leon Conrad flashes back, seething over a past loss to inferior vermin through a surprise attack. He rages internally, how did a regressive bastard beat me by luck? Because of a pure-blooded awakening. Leon Conrad glares at Zeke, sneering, wow hey, Freckle, noticing Zeke's companions. With a chilling grin, Leon Conrad taunts, you already found a replacement for me. Zeke's expression hardens, a cold resolve settling on his face. Purple flames erupt around Zeke's sword and eyes. He issues a deadly warning. I'll give you all 3 seconds. Zeke finishes his ultimatum with chilling intensity. So, you better plant your heads onto the ground. The tense atmosphere in the alleyway crackles, echoing with unseen reactions to Zeke's threat. Leon Conrad's cronies recoil in terror, one stammering what? As they begin to scatter. Leon Conrad sneers, your arrogance has gone through the roof, Zeke Draker. Cutting himself off as Zeke interjects. Zeke, eyes glowing with purple energy, coldly commands, drop down, or else. Leon Conrad gasps, ugh, visibly shaken by Zeke's sudden dominance. He trembles, clutching his chest, What is this pressure? A flashback begins, showing Leon Conrad's imposing figure just a few months ago. Leon Conrad recalls Zeke crawling between his legs, now questioning his own fear. And yet I'm scared. Enraged, Leon Conrad grits his teeth. How dare you tell me what to do? You inferior bastard. He bellows at his hesitant cronies. What are you doing? Attack him. As they finally charge, Zeke stands firm, sword ready, as multiple assailants rush towards him. Zeke sighs, a weary but resolute expression, huh? Don't blame me for this, got it? Zeke, eyes blazing purple, unleashes a swift, powerful punch. The first crony reacts with pure shock, completely caught off guard. Zeke's fist connects, sending the crony flying with a brutal impact. Bodies scatter as Zeke effortlessly handles the initial rush. He becomes a whirlwind of motion, striking down multiple assailants. Cronies are tossed aside like ragdolls, unable to land a single blow. Another thug is sent reeling, blood erupting from Zeke's precise strike. Zeke continues his onslaught, felling foes with kicks and punches. A sweeping kick with purple energy clears a path through the attackers. The last of the charging cronies is launched into the air, utterly defeated. Leon Conrad stares in disbelief, sweat dripping. There's no way. As another crony hits the ground, Leon internally questions, is this bastard? Zeke stands calmly amidst the fallen, asking, really the Zeke Draker I know? With a glint of steel, Zeke's hand rests on his sword, promising, it only hurts for a moment. Leon Conrad, terrified, brandishes his own sword, shouting, stay away. I'll cut you if you come closer. Zeke's cold eyes meet Leon's. Are you really drawing your sword outside the training arena? You know what this means, right? As Zeke reaches for his hilt, Leon stammers, wait. While Zeke declares his intent to face murderous aggression, Zeke draws his blade, now glowing with a fierce red aura. I, Zeke Draker, will retaliate in the name of honor. Leon trembles as Zeke lays down the grim terms, a battle to the death, with no one else to blame for the outcome. Looking at the battered Fannin, Zeke proclaims, Liam Stone, you're the witness. Zeke's sword point strikes the ground. Now then, let's continue. Fannin, still bloodied, whispers a pained I'm sorry, his purple eye filled with tears. Leon Conrad, weaponless, desperately begs, Sir Zeke Draker, please, let me live. Zeke coldly watches Leon grovel, pleading, just let me go. As Leon's sword clatters uselessly, Fannin's earlier apology to him echoes with bitter irony. Leon, utterly terrified, continues his desperate plea, please let me live. Zeke regards the foolish bastard with contempt, his own sword still held ready. A blinding flash of purple energy accompanies Zeke's swift, decisive strike. Zeke announces the grim toll, I'll be taking your ear as payment, as Leon screams. His ear now visible on the bloodied ground. Leon clutches his head in pure agony and terror, shrieking, my ear. Zeke grabs Leon's hair, warning, if your ear is reattached when we meet again. His eyes blazing red, Zeke finishes, what I'll be taking next won't be your ear, but your head. With brutal force, Zeke slams Leon's face into the bloodied ground. Leon lies broken as Zeke sighs, phew, the immediate threat neutralized. Fannin, battered, looks up from the ground, weakly calling Zeke. As defeated cronies litter the alley. As Zeke begins to walk away, Fannin stares at his back, asking, why? Fannin, still on the ground, completes his question, did you help me? As Zeke distances himself. Fannin, his face streaked with blood, listens as Zeke casually replies, don't worry about it. Zeke glances back with a faint, knowing smile, I wasn't helping you. He walks into the light, leaving Fannin kneeling. I was helping myself. Zeke scratches his head, sighing, did Galleon rub off on me? He reflects, I almost said something embarrassing out loud. As the scene shifts to Grand Academy buildings, the view focuses on the Academy Galleon Research Lab as Zeke internally asks, will this be possible, Professor? Inside, Zeke excitedly presents a blueprint to the professor, really? Then I'd like to leave this with you. The professor, adjusting his glasses, interjects, wait, I think it would be better if you listen to my explanation first. Looking down at the plans, the professor notes the simple composition, but points out, however, the problem is the core in charge of power output. The blueprint reveals intricate details, highlighting the core's power needs and tricky circuit restrictions. Zeke listens intently, acknowledging, this is unprecedented, then asks, but is it possible? The professor confirms, yes, there are two options. Considering the core's condition for adjusting the design, Zeke is floored as the professor estimates it would take at least a decade, no 15 years, to redo the core design. The professor dips a pen. As for the second method, we can use an alternative material, saving a lot of time. He places an inkwell on the table. The material needed is a high-compression Manhwa stone. As Zeke stares in disbelief, Zeke jolts up, exclaiming, what? Isn't that an ancient artifact beyond modern technology? The professor, holding a glowing vial, explains finding such a rare Manhwa stone in ruins is incredibly difficult. It would cost over 3,000 gold, the professor reveals, leaving Zeke wide-eyed and sweating. Zeke collapses onto a sofa, 15 years is way too long. I might get kicked out if they find out I can't use aura. He clutches his head in frustration. 3,000 gold is too high. I can't give up on Graham. The Sword of Radiance. Zeke recalls the blessing right. Most think I'm an aura user, but that was just ether and healing. I still can't use aura. Purple energy swirls as Zeke thinks. Ether is hard to control. And without Master Spirit of the Soul, I can't use aura sword skills. A vision of Zeke with a glowing blue sword appears, even with that skill. I can only reinforce my body. Aura is far more versatile. Zeke reaffirms his desperate need. That's why I need Graham, the Sword of Radiance. He clenches his fist, wondering, damn it. How am I supposed to get a high compression mana stone? The professor praises the blueprints. By the way, the creator is amazing, noting its efficient design. This would be difficult to create, even among Golden Age relics, the professor adds. As Zeke flinches at the term, a spark of an idea hits Zeke. Yeah. Why didn't I think about that before? Zeke stands decisively. Please take care of the designs until I'm back, Professor. Leaving him puzzled. As Zeke walks off, he scoffs at waiting 15 years. Haha, of course not. With a confident glint in his eye, Zeke declares, I'll bring one. He turns with a smirk, specifying a high compression mana stone, I mean. The scene dramatically shifts to a sky teeming with majestic, soaring dragons. The narrative flashes back to the Golden Age, detailing the liberation war against dragons. This war culminated in the defeat of the evil dragon Bahamut by Terracon Draker. An epic clash shows Terracon Draker bravely facing the colossal, fiery Bahamut. Humanity gained a century of peace, discovering ancient relics from the age of the Hero King and the Dragon's Lair. These relics, including powerful magic and techniques, far surpassed modern capabilities. Among these was the High Compression Mana Stone, a village-powering relic from the Hero King's era. The scene shifts to Draker Academy's central library, maintained due to its connection to Terracon. A document reveals that Golden Age relics were found there, an event yet to happen for another 10 years. Zeke now walks through the vast, untouched central library records room. Knowing the relics are undiscovered, he sighs, realizing the sheer difficulty of finding the specific mana stone among countless hidden artifacts. To aid his search, Zeke activates a draconian skill, Dragon Eyes, his own eye flaring gold. He strides purposefully through the vast library, his enhanced vision scanning for anomalies. Peeking around a towering bookshelf, his glowing eye widens with a sudden realization. A faint red glow emanates from the floorboards ahead. Zeke whispers, bingo. He taps the floor, confirming his suspicion. It should sound hollow. Yes, this is it. Kneeling, Zeke channels purple energy into his hand, preparing to use Soul of the Spirit. Cut. The materialized ether slices through the floor, a skill learned from his master. Zeke grimaces, the effort draining his ether. Using Soul of the Spirit is too much. A faint click echoes as glowing lines trace a hidden opening in the floor. A section of the floor slides away, revealing a secret compartment beneath. The heavy floor panel rumbles open, revealing the descent into darkness. A torch flares to life, casting flickering light on ancient stone. Zeke steps cautiously into the unexpectedly deep passage, torch held high. Suddenly, a rattling sound makes Zeke's eyes widen in alarm. He looks up to see shadowy figures, thinking these ruins should be undiscovered. Peeking around a pillar, his dragon eye glows as he questions if someone beat him here. Two skeletons with menacing red eyes turn towards him, tools in hand. Zeke notes their shovels and pickaxes, relieved they don't seem to be lich-controlled. If that's the case, Zeke thinks, drawing his glowing ether sword, ready for a fight. His skill critical strike activates as he lunges, confident this will be easy. Zeke's glowing ether sword clashes violently, shattering the skeleton shovel. With his dragon eye blazing, Zeke cleaves through a skeleton, purple ether flaring. As the skeletal remains crumble, a glowing blue system window appears before a surprised Zeke. The system announces he's earned 2 karma points for defeating the skeletons, bringing his total to 22. A grin spreads across Zeke's face. He'd forgotten monster slaying yielded precious points. Focused only on the artifact. A sudden thought strikes him. Wait a minute. His eyes gleam with manic excitement, realizing this is a prime opportunity to farm for more points. Chibi Zeke dashes off with glee, shouting for his lovely points. Another skeleton's skull explodes into fragments from a precise, powerful strike. Surrounded by fallen skeletons, Zeke checks his status, 20 defeated, thinking, this is easy. Zeke's status window reveals he now has 40 karma points, with several skills and functions still locked. He considers his options, noting the beginner quest book cost 45 points, while the mini-map is only 20. Deciding on an immediate upgrade, Zeke selects the mini-map with a tap on the holographic interface. A system notification confirms the mini-map feature has been activated, and a 2D layout appears. Zeke thoughtfully strokes his chin, comparing the new feature to a familiar magic map. His attention is drawn to an unfamiliar icon on the map display, prompting him to ask, "What's this?" A new system message pops up. The mini-map has been converted from 2D to 3D. The map dramatically shifts into a 3-dimensional holographic projection, startling Zeke with its advanced display. A wide grin spreads across Zeke's face as he marvels, "Amazing, this is what I'm talking about." But his excitement turns to curiosity as he spots one room glowing a distinct red on the 3D map. A system prompt asks if he wants directions to the grave of the Dragonslayer, storage room. Shocking Zeke. Recalling the original search party's struggle, Zeke confidently selects yes on the prompt. The system confirms, "We will now provide the quickest route to your destination." A glowing blue holographic path materializes on the floor, guiding Zeke forward. Zeke laughs in disbelief at the clear, easy-to-follow route displayed on the 3D map. "How would I lose my way with this?" he muses, observing the precise path. A new notification declares, "You have arrived at your destination," as Zeke faces a colossal, ornate door. He touches the imposing door, realizing it's not going to open with a simple push. Zeke's gloved hand begins to crackle with intense, crimson energy. He channels his power, red lightning flaring as he prepares to force the ancient door open. Zeke recoils, his hand smoking, exclaiming, "A security spell." He realizes this explains the magic tower, an archmage of Nirvana's involvement. A glowing red symbol on a dark cloak confirms their connection to this very door. Zeke inspects his crimson glowing hand, thankful his gloves prevented severe damage. Frustrated, he admits he can't bypass the spell and asks, "Can't you open it for me?" System messages flash, connecting, deactivating, then automatic activation unsuccessful. Stunning Zeke. His eye reflects the system window as he wonders, "Wait, are you responding to what I just said?" The system confirms, "Yes, I am. Do you have any more requests, Administrator Zeke Draker?" Zeke stares at the interface, a shocking revelation dawning. "I can talk with the system." Standing before the vast system, Zeke demands, "If that's the case, why did you force me to regress?" The system cryptically responds, "I cannot answer the following question," to Zeke's query about its nature. Zeke presses further, demanding, "Who made you?" only to receive the same evasive answer. Frustrated by the lack of answers, Zeke sighs, realizing he's hitting a wall with important questions. Giving up on interrogation, Zeke simply commands, "Just open the door." And the system confirms his request. With a rumble, the system announces the grave of the Dragonslayer, storage room, has been opened. The colossal, ornate doors begin to part, revealing a dark, mysterious space within. Zeke stares in utter disbelief as the sheer scale of the room beyond the doors is revealed. His eyes widen in shock as he realizes the vast chamber is filled with countless treasure chests. A quick reminder highlights the immense value of such relics, making even one a miraculous find. Zeke's gloved hand reaches out, drawn towards the alluring golden glow of a nearby treasure chest. He laughs, astounded by the sheer number of treasure chests before him, one overflowing with gold. Zeke begins to selectively grab chest, remarking, "Oh, this seems nice, I guess." A sly grin appears as he holds a glowing blue artifact, thinking, "Finally, I found it." The item is identified, a high-compression mana stone. He opens another chest, revealing for more glowing mana stones, exclaiming, "Even better." Zeke decides to use one karma point to expand his inventory by 4 slots, absorbing a stone. Surrounded by loot, he realizes he still lacks space, planning regular return trips. With his backpack full, Zeke decides, this should be enough for today. A bead of sweat rolls down his cheek as he looks back, a determined glint in his eye. Zeke walks away from the vast, shadowy treasure-filled chamber, leaving much behind for now. As Zeke turns to leave, an ominous feeling washes over him, making him pause. Suddenly, his gloved hand flares with an intense, swirling crimson energy. Startled, Zeke glances back, a bead of sweat tracing his temple as the energy reacts. He's instantly trapped within a vast, glowing red magic circle that erupts from the floor. Red lightning crackles, scattering treasure chest as a powerful beam shoots skyward. Forced to his knee, Zeke struggles against the overwhelming force of the ancient spell. Disoriented, he finds himself in a completely different, vast hall asking, "System, where am I?" A system notification reveals his new location. The current location of the administrator is home of the Dragonslayer. Looking around the grand, unfamiliar space, Zeke mutters he never knew of a room filled with coffins here. He quickly pulls up his minimap, trying to make sense of this unexpected teleportation. Zeke studies his map, noting his proximity but the lack of a direct path to this new area. He realizes with excitement, this could be a hidden area that's never been found before. Determined not to ignore this discovery, Zeke approaches one of the mysterious coffins. He opens a coffin, revealing a full suit of gleaming plate armor within. A system notification pops up. You have found Dragonslayer exclusive equipment. Zeke carefully examines the ancient, battle-worn helmet of the Dragonslayer armor. He murmurs, Dragonslayer exclusive equipment, noting its unique design compared to Golden Age relics. His attention is drawn to a peculiar circular indentation on the armor's chest plate. A sudden thought strikes Zeke, his eyes widening as a possibility dawns on him. Holding a glowing mana stone, he declares, I can't just let this opportunity pass. A system notification declares, mana battery installed, Dragonslayer equipment activated. The armor's eyes ignite with a blue glow, mirroring Zeke's excited, anticipatory grin. Unexpectedly, the entire suit of armor in the coffin starts to convulse with power, making Zeke utter, huh? Swirling green energy engulfs Zeke as he shouts in alarm, what's happening? The system announces an overload and activation failure, warning of an imminent explosion. Soot-covered, Zeke deadpans it already exploded, man, to the system's apology. He stares at the inert armor, pondering if mana stones were indeed their power source. Zeke peers into the coffin, curious about the armor's features that required such vast energy. Deciding to consult Fanon later, he presses on. Let's keep searching. Finding other rooms empty, Zeke approaches a distant doorway, concluding, looks like this is the last one. Zeke enters the final room, finding only a large glass cube within. Suddenly, a system notification appears before him, glowing with blue energy. His eyes widen in disbelief, reflecting the screen as he gasps, WHAT. A bead of sweat rolls down his face as he mutters, Reincarnated. This guy. He was crazy. A fearsome dragon's visage flashes as the system announces the discovery of Bahamut's heart. The pulsating heart of the defeated dragon, left as a dying gift, hovers ominously. Zeke realizes this must be the source of the ominous feeling from the storage room. Yet, as black smoke begins to gather, he senses something more. A subtle shift occurs, drawing his attention to an unseen change. The swirling darkness intensifies as he concludes, it's different. A system alert flashes, Bahamut's heart is reacting to Zeke, as dark energy envelops him. With wide, unnerved eyes, Zeke responds to an unseen voice. Yes, I hear you. A chilling internal monologue echoes. Yes, I had no choice. Yes, I understand. His eye reflects a fiery resolve as the voice commands, yes, I'll kill them all. Suddenly, a system notification announces the activation of his indomitable mental defense skill. Zeke internally struggles, questioning the horrifying command, kill them all. He clutches his head in distress, the dragon emblem on his glove prominent. Why would I? The dark tendrils seem to momentarily recede as he fights the influence, confusion on his face. Before the pulsating heart, Zeke shouts against the overwhelming dark energy. What the hell is this? The immense, swirling darkness dwarfs him, the heart in the cube its terrifying epicenter. The dark energy intensifies, swirling violently as Zeke shouts, what's going on? An urgent quest appears, Reincarnated's test, challenging him to defeat Bahamut's curse. His eyes turn void black, a sinister aura enveloping him as the curse takes hold. His indomitable mental defense activates. But a horrifying error message follows, skill activation has failed. Dark tendrils creep up his arm, the dragon emblem on his glove pulsing with the corrupting force. A horrifying command echoes through his mind, kill them all, repeated endlessly. His eyes now blaze with a malevolent red light, consumed by the dark influence. The voice continues its insidious whisper, accept me, and you will be free. Zeke collapses, clutching his head as he fights the overwhelming mental assault. He glares upward, snapping, stop mumbling, you're so annoying, then considers. You'll give me freedom? Zeke, bloodied but defiant, retorts to the curse, freedom is won, you dumbass. The glass cube containing Bahamut's heart shatters violently under immense pressure. Surrounded by swirling energy, a system notification declares, you have won against the light dragon's curse. Quest completion grants Zeke ownership of Terracon's dying gift, making him sigh. That could have been worse. Still reeling, Zeke wonders to think the skill would fail. What the hell was that? System messages announce healing factor, infinite stamina activation, and the absorption of Bahamut's heart. Bloodied and weary, Zeke looks on with a puzzled expression as the absorption begins. He reaches for the pulsating heart, now radiating an intense, swirling energy. Overwhelmed by a new surge, his eyes glow as he shouts, what's happening now? The heart unleashes a torrent of power, described as a pure and dense source of mana. Zeke screams as the pure, dense mana from the heart surges directly into him. He realizes with dread, however, I don't have any circles to accept mana. The untamed power ravages his system, as he thinks, without a place to be stored, all that mana is destroying my body. Desperate, Zeke knows, I have to do something, as chaotic energy engulfs him. Dark purple ether begins to gather in his hands, the dragon emblem on his glove glowing faintly. Gritting his teeth, Zeke attempts a desperate measure, Spirit of the Soul Seal. He plans, I'll use ether to cover the mana, as the energy condenses. With a fierce look, he resolves, and seal it in an ether hole. A colossal explosion of red and purple energy erupts, obscuring everything. The aftermath reveals a smoking crater where the immense power was unleashed. In the crater's center, a raw, pulsating mass of ether and mana thrums with unstable energy. Zeke, caught in the blast, rides as volatile power courses through him. He gasps, smoke and residual energy escaping his lips as the torrent subsides. Kneeling amidst the devastation, Zeke pants heavily, phew. He looks down, a glowing, demonic seal now embedded in his chest. I guess I lived. The room is a wreck, multiple impact craters marking the floor. Standing before the shattered pedestal, Zeke confirms the heart is gone. He reflects, looks like that mana was really from Bahamut. Suddenly, a slight sound makes him turn, a puzzled expression on his face. He spots it, the demonic seal, now somehow imprinted on a fragment of the destroyed cube. What is this? Zeke examines the demonic seal on his chest, wondering, did this occur when I sealed Bahamut's mana? A system alert flashes before his wide eyes. You have absorbed heart of the cursed light dragon, Bahamut. Suddenly, a barrage of system notifications floods his vision, leaving him stunned. The messages detail profound changes. His body is now divine body, most power sealed, and new access granted. Overwhelmed, Zeke mutters, divine body, secure library. What is all this? Deciding to check later, he abruptly stops, a sudden realization dawning on his face. Wait. His attention snaps to a single, overlooked notification. Accept this one. A new prompt appears. Would you like to open Terracon Draker's other dying gift? Zeke smirks. My ancestor was generous. The system confirms, opening the second gift as a grand chest materializes before him. Peering into the open chest, Zeke's eyes glow with purple light as he gasps, is this? The scene shifts to the imposing platinum mansion under a starry sky. Back in his room, Zeke stows the chest in a locker, ready to examine his gains. His low-rank administrator's status window reveals a host of new skills and attributes. Zeke notes the addition of authority and constitution, pondering the locked incantation skill. His new authority is dragonic control, and his constitution is a divine body. Descending a grand staircase, Zeke finds the skill description somewhat vague. He recalls another notification, access to Terracon Draker's secure library. Sitting down, Zeke instructs the system, open that one window related to Terracon. A prompt appears, an information update is needed to access Terracon Draker's secure library. The system advises moving to a suitable location and offers to mark it on his minimap. Zeke, surprised, asks, I need to go somewhere for this, show me. The system displays a minimap, highlighting a specific location as Zeke wonders, is that? His eyes widen in realization as he utters, Valhalla? Indeed, the system points to Valhalla, the most prestigious knight training institution, restricted to administrators. Zeke sighs, admitting, even I would have trouble entering Valhalla. I wasn't planning on joining Valhalla either. But if something related to Terracon's dying gift is there, he muses, it might be worth adjusting my plans. Clenching his fist, he resigns, I guess I'll have to keep being a part of this damn family. As a new notification appears, the beginner quest book has been activated. The system explains the tutorial is ending, and quests will now be given to encourage his growth, with rewards for completion. Zeke thoughtfully compares this new quest system to missions from an adventurer's guild. But what is this tutorial, he wonders, just as a new alert declares. The tutorial for the low-level administrator will now begin, leaving him puzzled. Suddenly, blue energy circles ripple outwards from Zeke's hand as the floor beneath him glows. The world warps, and Zeke is flung into a vast, gridded digital space. Standing on the glowing grid, he wonders aloud, what is this place? He recalls past teleports, but notes, no, it's different this time. It feels like the entire area has changed. Bright light envelops Zeke as the digital landscape shifts around him. He's thrown off balance, tumbling through the strange, gridded dimension. Before him, monstrous, club-wielding orcs materialize, their eyes glowing red as Zeke shouts, orcs. Zeke's eye widens in shock at the sudden appearance of these formidable foes. A system window pops up, tutorial quest, defeat the monsters within 60 minutes, using 2 or more skills. A smirk plays on Zeke's lips as he considers the sudden appearance of orcs and an appropriate quest, ready for the challenge. Zeke wonders if the tutorial is designed to showcase his system advantages as an orc attacks. He effortlessly defeats one, musing, it would have been nice if I had this before. Using swift steps, Zeke dodges an explosive attack from multiple orcs. His continuous slash skill activates, sending more orcs reeling from purple energy strikes. With glowing purple eyes, Zeke unleashes a devastating downward slash. The The remaining orcs are caught in a torrent of crackling purple energy, their faces contorted in agony. An orc shatters completely as Zeke notes, the claymore feels light as a feather. A system window details his divine body constitution, enhancing combat learning and ether transfer. Confident in his newfound power, Zeke believes he can now easily defeat a purple knight as the tutorial quest completes. Blue energy flares, signaling Zeke's return from the digital tutorial space. Zeke finds himself back in his room, the blue glow fading as he remarks, "Oh, I'm back." His sword dissolves into blue particles, making him question, was that all an illusion? It felt incredibly real. System messages pop up, granting him a critical bonus, a time bonus, 40 points, and access to the shop category. A surprised Zeke wonders aloud, I can buy items through the system. The system shop reveals incredible items like Giant's Flesh and Breath of a Flame Giant, leaving Zeke amazed. Noting the shop's rare, expensive relics, Zeke smirks. Could I make a fortune just for selling the items here? The system shows he can't sell his training claymore, but offers for points for his elven dagger. Zeke realizes he can only sell ancient relics, questioning the mirror for points. For a valuable dagger, blue particles shimmer around his hand as he decides, I guess I won't use it unless I really need the points. Stretching his arms, Zeke sighs, phew, today was a long day, ready to rest. Zeke, back in his room, anticipates a restful night as a lamp casts a soft glow. The next day, the scene shifts to the Grand Draker Academy Professor Research Center. Inside, a professor questions Zeke, you really managed to find a high compression mana stone within a day. How did you do it? Zeke, deflecting, asks how long the process will take, only for the professor to reveal, it's already complete. The professor, holding a processed vial, remarks, I think it's more impressive that you managed to bring this. Sipping his tea, Zeke senses the professor's suspicion, thinking, looks like he's suspicious of me. The professor explains that such mana stones are meticulously registered, using ancient text to track ownership. He elaborates that registration numbers confirm a mana stone's origin, discovery date, and current owner. Standing beside a large encyclopedia, the professor confidently states Zeke's mana stone couldn't possibly be registered. Zeke, placing his cup down, inwardly acknowledges the professor's sharp judgment and skill in suspecting him. Zeke, ready to depart, asks, now that you've confirmed the registration number, can we leave? As the professor remarks, you're too talented to rot in a place like this. The scene shifts to a workshop named Papnir's Breath, as the professor declares, all right, I'll try activating it then. The professor's hand glows intensely, intricate green magic circles forming around his fingers. Bright blue light erupts as multiple, complex magic circles flare to life around the workshop's machinery. The professor is thrown back by a surge of blue magical energy, surrounded by swirling runes. Zeke stands unfazed, observing the professor amidst the powerful, glowing blue aura. A wild, excited grin spreads across the professor's face as he channels the immense magical power. The blue energy subsides, and the professor, looking pleased, claps his hands beside a calm Zeke. Zeke mentions a lecture and bids farewell, while the professor, still surrounded by faint blue light, enthusiastically thanks him. The professor, now in an apron, expresses gratitude for seeing a completed magic brazier. But Zeke coolly replies, it's all part of the deal. Zeke reminds the professor, I'm sure you haven't forgotten the condition that you offered. And the professor eagerly replies, of course, just say the word. Placing a long box on the table, Zeke states his request, make this into a sword. The professor stares, utterly shocked, stammering, sir, isn't that? The box reveals a massive, glowing fang, identified as Curse-Light Dragon Bahamut's sharpest fang, as the professor exclaims, a dragon's fang. Awestruck, the professor marvels, I've never seen one in this condition or size, then asks Zeke, where did you get this? A flashback reveals the fang was Terracon Draker's second dying gift. Noting his love for collecting such items, Zeke, with a knowing half-smile, cryptically answers, it's a bit complicated. The professor, overcome with emotion, trembles and bows his head slightly. Visibly moved, the professor acknowledges, you made a magic brazier, and even gave me a chance to craft with the dragon's fang. As Zeke looks on, surrounded by fiery energy, the professor passionately declares, I will exceed your every expectation, while Zeke is slightly pushed back by the intense aura. I, Galleon Halbert, the professor declares with fierce determination, will create your blade, even if it cost my life. A thought bubble emphasizes the professor's debt, of course you should, since it's a request from the person who saved your life. Galleon's vow echoes dramatically in a stark, shadowed panel. Zeke, slightly taken aback, tells the pouting professor, please don't do that. It's a bit too much for me. A faint smile plays on Zeke's lips as he muses. He's still the same. Leaving Pap near his breath, Zeke entrusts the task to Galleon, wondering about the sword to come. Back in the forge, Galleon, surrounded by intense heat, exclaims, "I'm looking forward to it." Zeke arrives at his opulent platinum mansion room, sighing, "It's so much work to make this sword." A flashback panel reminds us of Zeke's intense duel with Duke. Holding a mysterious note, Zeke recalls, "It's been a week since I received that note that said to come find him again." Zeke senses an impending event, thinking, something should happen sooner or later. Suddenly, a robed figure with imposing footsteps appears before him. Duke looms over Zeke, demanding, "Why? Why didn't you come, kid?" A bead of sweat rolls down Zeke's cheek as he offers a nervous smirk. Duke's eyes blaze with fury as he commands, "Tell me the truth," making Zeke realize he really wants to kill me. Zeke calmly explains, "You told me to come if I wanted to challenge you again. I didn't go because I had no intentions of." Duke yanks Zeke up by his collar, cutting him off. "I said to tell me the truth." Zeke gasps in surprise as Duke's grip tightens, a fierce sound echoing. With a powerful heave, Duke hurls Zeke upwards through the air. Zeke, caught completely off guard, exclaims, "Huh?" as he's sent flying. Zeke hurtles upwards, gritting his teeth as the room floor rapidly recedes below. He realizes the lethal height, desperately landing on a precarious balcony railing. His gloved hand scrambles, barely catching the stone edge to halt his fall. Suddenly, a powerful force yanks him back from the brink, blood trickling from his lip. Duke, holding Zeke by the collar, coldly states he knows Zeke understands his true intentions. From a high balcony, Duke accuses Zeke of deliberately ignoring his messages to provoke him. Duke gives Zeke 5 seconds to tell the truth, as Zeke realizes Duke was merely toying with him. Despite the chokehold, Zeke manages a bloody smirk, calling Duke funny as the countdown hits 4. With 3 seconds left, Duke sternly notes Zeke still hasn't revealed his true identity. As the count reaches 2, Zeke, with a knowing, defiant grin, retorts, "Isn't that right, Garden Keeper Dexter?" Duke's smirk widens as the countdown ends, a sharp glint in his eye. With a sudden, brutal motion, Duke hurls Zeke across the opulent room. Zeke crashes into furniture, groaning, as Duke confirms, "Yeah, you're right, kid." Duke gently places a hand on Zeke's head, revealing, "I was once a Black Knight of Draker." As Zeke ponders once, standing over the disheveled Zeke, Duke formally introduces himself, "Duke Draker." Zeke, recognizing the gravity, touches the Draker insignia on his glove, acknowledging his disrespect. He bows deeply, offering a sincere apology from the bottom of his heart. Duke stares, utterly bewildered, asking if Zeke planned this all along, while Zeke cheekily denies it internally. As Duke dismisses his past, Zeke presses, however, "Lord Duke, you said you were once a Black Knight." Zeke, ever observant, questions inwardly, "Hud, is that possible?" A flicker of suspicion in his eyes. Duke remarks, "I'm aware that you can rise in ranks, but I never knew you could drop, kid." From behind, Duke curtly tells Zeke, "Let's stop talking about that." Duke's hand trembles slightly as Zeke watches him intently. Zeke places a hand on his chest, stating, "Understood. Since you have told me the truth, Lord Duke, I will also tell you the truth." Looking out the window, Zeke reveals, "You already knew about my identity." Duke, now seated, questions, "Did you bother me to become my official apprentice?" To which Zeke, kneeling, replies, "Yes, that is correct." A smirk plays on Duke's lips as he comments, "I can't believe your boldness." Duke snaps his fingers decisively. With a grin, Duke declares, "All right, I'll accept you as my apprentice." Zeke looks utterly surprised, inwardly questioning, "It was that easy?" Zeke quickly kneels, thinking, "I better accept before he changes his mind." He formally declares, "Duke Draker, Honorable Knight of Knights, I declare my intention to become your apprentice." Duke smirks, impressed by the traditional vow, as Zeke replies, "Culture is a necessary virtue of a knight. You sly snake," Duke muses, to which Zeke cheekily responds, "I'll take that as a compliment." Zeke then looks up, asking, "However, Master, may I ask one thing?" Duke, slightly flustered by Master, permits the question as Zeke wonders, "What made you accept me as your apprentice?" Zeke recalls Duke's notorious reluctance to take apprentices, except for the genius Andre. Pondering why he was chosen so easily, he theorizes that during their duel, Duke must have seen potential in him surpassing even Andre's. Duke leans in with a challenging grin. "Why do you think I did guess my apprentice?" Zeke beams confidently, "Isn't it because I'm a genius of the family?" Making Duke sigh at his audacity. Duke scoffs, "Bah, if that was the case, I would have chosen the girl from the Turan family." "I liked your tenacity," Duke reveals, adding, "Talent isn't the only thing you need to reach the level of a red or black knight." He explains that individuals who've never faced real issues often fall easily in the face of adversity. Zeke, listening intently, silently agrees. That's true. Duke continues. Most praised geniuses projected to reach Red Knight level often fail. Remaining Blue Knights. Standing abruptly, Duke declares, we can stop the chit-chat for now. Follow me, my apprentice. Time for your first lesson, Duke commands as Zeke eagerly shouts. Yes, sir. Zeke enters the vast western greenhouse gymnasium, surprised by its existence beneath the greenhouse. As Duke stands in the arena center, Zeke wonders, what is he planning? I've been running since he told me. But, Duke, looking weary, notes it's been 3 hours as Zeke finally yells, stop. Zeke, still jogging, hopefully asks, I don't have to run anymore. While Duke has a question. With a polite smile, Zeke inquires, sure. What do you want to know, master? Nothing much, Duke murmurs, suddenly appearing behind Zeke with a menacing aura. In a flash, Duke seizes Zeke's gloved wrist, his grip firm. Duke then executes a swift, powerful throw, sending Zeke sprawling. Zeke is flung across the vast gymnasium floor, a blur of motion. He tumbles hard, skidding to a halt in a cloud of dust. Duke examines his own hand thoughtfully, a curious escaping him. Leaning closer, Duke intensely asks, you have a problem with me checking your pulse? Zeke, sweating slightly, glares back, his mind racing. Duke reveals, I knew something was off with you from the start. When we fought in the healing room, when we dueled in the greenhouse, and even after 500 laps in the gym, Duke continues. Recalling their encounters, Duke states, I didn't sense a single drop of aura from you. You even stopped me from checking your pulse. Kid, tell me. Duke's piercing question hangs in the air. Are you unable to use aura? Leaving Zeke stunned. Across the vast gym, Duke muses. I'm sure I saw that bronze statue, while Zeke remains silent. Duke approaches, adding, there was an upper over that never-before-seen golden light too. Taking a deliberate step closer, Duke presses, if so, his boots thudding softly. Duke leans in, a sly grin on his face. Why aren't you letting me examine your pulse? Zeke's eyes narrow, a flicker of defiance in his gaze as he considers his response. Duke smirks, claiming it's not suspicion, just simple curiosity. As Zeke notes Duke's inquisitiveness, Zeke clenches his gloved fist, thinking he's fortunate it's Duke, and resolves to be careful until he acquires Graham. Extending his hand, Zeke confesses, you are correct, master. Ready to abandon lies unlike his past as a failed awakener. Skill mana reflection activated flashes as energy crackles. Zeke confirms his pure blood trait, but still lacks aura. Duke stares, astonished at Zeke's glowing hand. As Zeke believes this revelation will mask his other secrets, Zeke looks down remorsefully, apologizing and internally fretting over the consequences of a Draker lacking aura. With feigned tears, Zeke cries he'll be chased out. Thinking a convincing act is his best strategy, Zeke presents his hand, now visibly emanating a faint blue energy, towards his new master. Duke stares intently at the offered hand, rendered momentarily speechless, while Zeke nervously awaits his verdict. A close-up reveals Duke's eye widening, a flicker of understanding or shock crossing his features. Duke internally notes Zeke's uncharacteristic malice, yet still sees him as a child, puzzled by the lack of aura despite a successful awakening. Covering his mouth thoughtfully, Duke murmurs a contemplative As Zeke silently awaits his master's assessment, Zeke realizes Duke remains uncertain even after checking his pulse. A testament to the Draker blessing right's power. Floating blue puzzle pieces accompany Zeke's thought, even if it's the truth, that I cannot awaken to aura. Duke, still deep in thought, begins to voice his theory. I think it's because Zeke confidently believes Duke will find a reason to deny it himself. As puzzle pieces symbolize the unfolding situation, Duke places a hand on Zeke's shoulder, decisively concluding, you're an irregular. Zeke internally affirms, an irregular, of course that's his conclusion. Understanding Duke's perspective without knowledge of classes. What is that, master? Zeke inquires. As Duke explains, irregular refers to those with anomalous abilities. Various unique weapons displayed behind them. Duke gives examples, using aura and mana together, or even peering into the future, warning Zeke that irregulars are not well regarded. Duke elaborates, the reason I believe you're an irregular, master, is because you have insane stamina and recovery. He continues, noting Zeke recovered almost instantly from the throw, which must have taken unspeakable energy. Zeke offers a plausible hypothesis. His aura is constantly consumed for stamina and regeneration, leaving none to sense. Feigning disappointment, Zeke worries about his future, but Duke bursts into laughter. Don't you worry about that. Duke grins, revealing, my Gale Arts is a special art that doesn't use aura. He explains special arts are personally developed by high-level knights. His Gale Arts use only a trained body. Duke announces, I'll show you a demonstration, so watch closely as Zeke sits, ready to observe. With a powerful stomp, Duke shatters the arena floor beneath his foot. Zeke's eyes widen, pupils constricting in sheer astonishment at the raw power. In a flash, Duke vanishes, leaving only after images as he blazes across the vast gymnasium. Duke reappears instantly, dissettling, asking Zeke if he witnessed the Gale Arts. "Did you see that?" Duke presses as Zeke, still seated, asks if he can now follow those footsteps. From above, Duke questions if one demonstration is enough. Zeke confidently affirms, earning Duke's praise for his black rank audacity. Zeke rises, assuming a low stance, dark energy swirling as he prepares to replicate Duke's move. A close-up on Zeke's eyes reveals his intense concentration and unwavering resolve. With a powerful stomp, Zeke cracks the gymnasium floor, mirroring his master's feat. Duke watches, surprised, as Zeke then vanishes in a burst of speed, leaving after images. Zeke's eye reflects the motion, his mind processing, mimicking his movements. "I see things I couldn't before." A tactical overlay appears, showing Duke's movements were precise, to attack, dodge, close, and create distance. Glowing ethereal footprints illustrate Zeke's realization. Each and every step has a purpose behind it. Duke watches in disbelief as Zeke mirrors his Gale Arts, dark energy trailing behind him. Duke internally marvels, he wasn't this good a week ago. Recalling Zeke's previous state. What happened in that 1 week? Duke wonders. While Zeke notes the vast difference in their strides, Zeke acknowledges the immense gap, like comparing heaven and earth to his master's skill. A wide, almost manic grin spreads across Duke's face as he declares internally he's perfect. Zeke smirks, feeling his black rank confidence, while Duke internally fumes at his disciple's arrogance. Duke playfully grabs Zeke's face, teasing, "You were just crying, brat," as Zeke begs him not to tell anyone. "That depends on your attitude, my arrogant disciple," Duke retorts, as Zeke questions his master's loose tongue. The scene transitions to the grand exterior of the Academy dining hall. A lavish meal of lobster, steak, and bread is presented, signaling a change of pace. A month into Duke's training, Zeke devours a meal, noting his ever-increasing appetite. Stuffing his face, Zeke is suddenly caught off guard by an interruption. A familiar figure, Andre, approaches, requesting a moment of Zeke's time. Zeke, mid-meal, casually agrees to speak, claiming he's a bit busy. Andre leans in, directly questioning how Zeke managed to sway Sir Dexter. Internally, Zeke deduces Andre's anxiety stems from not yet being Duke's disciple. With a mouthful, Zeke nonchalantly states Sir Dexter simply chose him, as Andre eyes him suspiciously. Andre's gaze intensifies, his hand resting near his blade, creating a tense atmosphere. "A pure blood, is it?" Andre probes, causing Zeke to pause, noodles dangling from his mouth. Zeke sets his cutlery down sharply, the clatter signaling a shift in the conversation. Zeke's crimson eyes narrow as he tells Andre, "You have quite the inferiority complex." Andre's gloved hands clench, retorting, "Is that all you have to say?" But Zeke isn't finished. Even if bloodline sparked his interest, Zeke calmly asks, "Would Sir Dexter choose for such a simple reason?" Zeke firmly states, "Using that intrigue to become his disciple is a testament to my own abilities." As Andre's hand trembles, Zeke advises, "Instead of patting your ego, to be chosen yourself." Dark aura swirling, Zeke looms over Andre. "How about putting in some effort?" The scene shifts to the Western Greenhouse arena, where Andre approaches Duke and Zeke. Andre lands dramatically in the arena, kicking up dust as he confronts them. "What is this, master?" Zeke asks, while Duke echoes, "That's what I want to ask." As Andre begins to explain, Andre stumbles, recounting his desperate plea. "He came begging. Fine with being a servant if he can stay at my side." Duke reveals he challenged Andre to run 300 laps without aura, explaining his current state. Admiring Andre's tenacity, Duke smirks, while Zeke reconsiders his initial judgment of the determined student. Andre, panting and sweating, clearly shows he possesses considerable backbone despite his exhaustion. A simple wooden bucket stands as a silent testament to the grueling efforts undertaken. The scene shifts to an overhead view of students gathering, someone questioning the sudden assembly. More students fill the courtyard as another exclaims, "You idiot. It's the day of the Patriarch's visit." The rhythmic clopping of hooves signals an important arrival at the academy. An ornate emblem on a carriage, depicting a winged figure with a sword, hints at a powerful visitor. "The Patriarch is entering," a student shouts, as a distinguished military leader strides forward. Adjusting his impressive mustache, the Patriarch commands, "Get ready, everyone." To a chorus of "Yes, sir." An aerial view shows the grand carriage, pulled by multiple horses, making its way through the academy grounds. The Patriarch steps down from the carriage, his imposing figure met by armored guards. From inside the carriage, a silver-haired man peeks out, saying, "It's good to see you again." Howard, the military leader, bows respectfully, addressing the man as the master of the Drakers. The entire assembly of students and knights echoes Howard, shouting, "We greet the master of the Drakers." The scene shifts to a large clock tower, its hands steadily moving. The clock strikes noon, the bell tolling to mark the significant hour. A figure cloaked in dark, swirling aura appears, the ground beneath him subtly cracking. A close-up reveals the figure's gloved hand pulsing with immense dark power. The master of the Drakers places a hand on Howard's shoulder, remarking, "You're always so hardworking," as Howard demurs. "You're the only one who truly understands, Arthur Draker," the patriarch tells Howard. Howard suggests moving indoors, but Arthur raises a hand, the Draker emblem glowing faintly. Students in the distance gasp, "Huh, it's the patriarch," as others ask, "What? Where?" Arthur's gloved hand gestures, leaves swirling as he prepares to address the assembly. He levitates high above, declaring, "Young Dragonslayers, you are the hope and future of the Drakers." The students listen intently as Arthur commands, "Train hard and train more." With intense golden eyes, Arthur proclaims, "Your development will be the Drakers' development." The entire student body roars, "Yes, sir," looking up at the distant figure of their leader. A student's face, filled with awe, shouts, "Master of the Drakers." Arthur turns to Howard, "Let's go in now," and Howard respectfully agrees, "Of course, sir." Behind closed doors, Zeke formally announces, "I, Zeke Draker, greet the leader of all knights and guardian of the Dragonslayer name." Zeke salutes sharply as Arthur Draker observes, adding, "With all respect." Arthur, holding the teacups, smiles warmly, "No one greets like that anymore. Please, have a seat." Offering rare tea and biscuits, Arthur mentions, "I heard you like tea." To which Zeke politely thanks him. Zeke, surprised, internally questions, "Even my food preferences are reported to him?" Staring at his reflection in the tea, Zeke muses on the Draker's omnipresent knowledge. Feeling its truth, Arthur, sipping tea, reveals, "I called you because I heard Duke finally took a disciple." Zeke internally notes Arthur's directness, thinking with a slight smile, "He did me a great favor." Arthur calmly sips his tea, affirming, "Indeed, that is true." Beside an empty bird cage, Arthur states, "Your goal, following Duke's teachings, is to become the continent's strongest." Arthur's golden eye gleams with intensity as he listens to Zeke's ambition. From above, Zeke declares his intent to surpass all, seeking true freedom. Arthur deliberately sets his teacup down, a silent challenge issued. Zeke, undeterred, smiles confidently, affirming, "That is my goal." Suddenly, an immense blue aura erupts from Arthur, pressing down on Zeke. Arthur's voice cuts through the pressure. "Then, you mean to surpass even me?" Zeke gasps, sweat beading as he feels the overwhelming force of the patriarch. Trembling under the immense pressure, Zeke struggles to comprehend its source. The room floods with ethereal blue energy, revealing Arthur's astral sword technique. Zeke grits his teeth, realizing this is the pinnacle of aura usage exclusive to Black Knights. Arthur's golden eye gleams with amusement, a smirk playing on his lips amidst the blue aura. Zeke, teeth gritted, forces out, of course, as his teacup clatters under the strain. Unfazed, Arthur calmly sips his tea, the immense pressure emanating from him unabated. The entire room is awash in Arthur's overwhelming blue aura, pressing down on Zeke. Zeke, though strained, finds the situation exhilarating, recognizing the patriarch's true power. Arthur explains his support, hinting that Zeke will need more than just the Academy's help to become a true Black Knight. Zeke, astounded by Arthur's strength, realizes he is on a completely different level than even Duke. Arthur then presents a sleek, black card, calling it a gift for Zeke becoming Duke's disciple. Zeke's eyes widen in disbelief, a black card pardon, as Arthur notes his recognition. Holding the exclusive, limitless credit card, Zeke marvels at its rarity and incredible benefits. Arthur explains the black card is under both names for Zeke's free use, who vows to use it wisely. Zeke internally deciphers Arthur's true motive, tracking his every move through the card's records. Realizing Arthur doesn't yet see him as a threat, Zeke politely excuses himself to not waste the patriarch's time. Arthur formally dismisses Zeke, who bows respectfully before departing. Zeke is seen walking away from the grand window, leaving the patriarch's chamber. He continues his departure, moving further into the academy grounds. Back in the room, Arthur sighs deeply, the two teacups resting on the table. The patriarch sits alone, eyes closed, a pensive expression settling on his face. Suddenly, Duke appears in the room, his voice laced with disdain. "You're sickening." Arthur, unperturbed, calmly inquires, "Why are you so angry, Duke?" Duke scoffs, suddenly playing father after neglecting him, but Arthur coolly deflects, citing household duties. Duke defiantly plops onto a sofa, challenging, "Take me away then." Arthur, his hand glowing faintly, confides, "You're the only one I can talk to without worries." As Duke looks on, puzzled. Arthur offers a drink, revealing a rare bottle, and Duke exclaims, "Ooh, dragon breath. It's the red one too." As Arthur pours, he inquires about the continent's strange atmosphere. But Duke claims ignorance from being at the academy. Arthur hands over the glass, questioning Duke's awareness, but Duke retorts, "You have eyes and ears all over the place." Duke sighs, "So you asked when you already know my answer. You snake." Arthur reveals the Emperor has gone crazy over immortality, and Duke asks, "Do you think it's possible?" Duke vehemently denies it, as if magic can make you look young, but immortality is not possible. Arthur, taking a sip of his drink, calmly states, "I think the same." Arthur trails off, a dark, however, hanging in the air. He then posits a chilling theory. What if the relic he's looking for is something related to the Elder Dragon? Duke, stunned by the implication, exclaims, "What?" His earlier conviction echoes, immortality is impossible even if magic grants youth. Elsewhere, Zeke, surrounded by boxes, senses a disturbance, his thoughts mirroring the grave conversation. Using soul manifestation, hearing, Zeke focuses his senses, purple aura swirling around him. He eavesdrops on their discussion, realizing the Elder Dragon relic is a terrifying possibility. Duke presses further, is it possible that he's already located it? To which Arthur concedes, possibly. Arthur reveals intelligence from the Black Knights. The relic is likely in the northern continent. Duke sips his drink, contemplating the grim news, the northern continent. Duke asks if this intel is secret, but Arthur warns the Empire will soon discover it. Duke recalls the Emperor's past, a warmonger who only stopped after conquering half the central continent. He can't believe the Emperor still pursues immortality, fearing the chaos if such an artifact exists. Arthur calmly agrees, foreseeing the continent once again consumed by war. Arthur then declares he'll go to the north himself, stunning Duke, who worries about the power vacuum. With a knowing glint in his eye, Arthur reveals this is precisely why he summoned Duke. Duke lets out a sigh, muttering, "You're as sly as a fox." The two men clink their glasses, a silent understanding passing between them. Meanwhile, Zeke, still listening in, grimaces, realizing Arthur picks the most annoying tasks for him. Overwhelmed by the implications, Zeke stumbles, collapsing amongst the boxes. Zeke pants, realizing he used soul manifestation for too long, its side effects hitting him hard. His mind races, the words Elder Dragon, echoing with newfound significance. He connects the dots. The statue he found before regressing was an Elder Dragon's artifact. The voice before his death, the system message after regression. It all clicks into place. Zeke recalls stealing that very artifact, the one the Emperor needed, and being chased by the hunting dogs. Back then, blinded by revenge, he hadn't understood its true importance, yet he'd found a clue. The administrator's system that sent him to the past was the Elder Dragon's artifact, but its creator remains a mystery. Zeke sighs, leaning back, realizing this revelation has only brought more questions. Elsewhere, Duke finishes his drink, telling Arthur, "I'll make my move immediately. O Master of the Drakers. With a final 'I'll put my faith in you,' Duke strides out of the Patriarch's chamber. Duke's resolute steps echo as he departs the Patriarch's chamber. He pauses at the grand doors, a final moment of contemplation before his mission. Arthur's golden eyes gleam with conviction, his resolve hardening. Elsewhere, Zeke questions the artifact's true connection to the Emperor's quest for immortality. A sudden sound startles Zeke, his senses on high alert. Duke bursts through a doorway, his expression grim and searching. He surveys an empty, sunlit room, a silent inquiry in his gaze. From the bushes below, Zeke observes Duke, who mutters, "I guess it was nothing." Later, an annoyed Zeke is interrupted during his sword training. "Decker," he barks, only to learn a fellow student has come seeking him. Zeke, puzzled by a student visitor, wonders if it's Raina, then reluctantly agrees. "Tell them to come in." Looking up, Zeke exclaims, "I was wondering who it was," as an unexpected figure enters. To Zeke's shock, Liam Stone is bowing deeply before him, almost prostrate on the floor. Liam desperately pleads, "Please take me in," while Zeke internally scoffs. "Why would I be your friend?" Zeke sighs, regretting a past interaction, then questions Liam's request, "Take you in." As Liam pledges his allegiance, Zeke clarifies, "Are you saying you'd become my subordinate?" Zeke clenches his fist, inquiring about Jaqen, and Liam reveals, "I was abandoned." A desperate cry echoes from Liam, "I must go to Valhalla." Liam, kneeling with claw-like nails digging into the ground, looks up with frantic determination. Zeke recalls Liam's past obsession with Valhalla as Liam continues to beg, "Please take me in." Zeke scoffs at Liam's plea, "Are you stupid? Go to Turan or Zimmons instead." He turns away dismissively, declaring, "I'm not a support family." Zeke emphasizes, showing his Draker insignia as such, I won't help you enter Valhalla. He glances at his reflection, adding, besides, how am I supposed to believe you? Zeke voices his suspicion. To be frank, you might be a spy sent by Jaqen. Liam trembles, his face pale, but resolute as he remains kneeling. Suddenly, Liam's hand moves, gripping the hilt of a dagger at his waist. He swiftly draws the blade, raising it high, his expression hidden in shadow. In a shocking move, Liam slices his own palm, blood spraying onto the floor. Holding the bloody dagger, Liam vows, it's natural you doubt me, but I'll prove myself. Whatever it takes. Liam, gripping the bloody dagger, declares, if you wish for me to become mute, then I will cut out my tongue. With fierce resolve, he continues, if you wish for me to become a cripple, then I will cut off my foot, stabbing the dagger into the ground.
Hello everyone, subscribe to my channel to not miss new trending manhwa.